and welcome to the Chronicles of Yarnia, the podcast from Montclair's local yarn store. I'm Jen.
Amanda.
Kathleen.
And special guest star.
What's your name?
Don't tell me you forgot. I know you wouldn't forget that.
You got to tell everyone who the
You
special
gotta
guest
say your
is.
name too.
This is Teddy.
Hi, Teddy. Teddy is so cute.
Catatonic moment.
And he is a needle aficionado.
He is. And dinosaur aficionado. He was telling us all about dinosaurs. And what dinosaurs?
Mr. Cat and Mr. Crab and Mr. Spike.
Yep, there's Mr. Cat behind the camera and Mr. Crab and Mr. Who was the last
called
one?
him Mr. Spike.
Mr. Spike.
The kids play with it like a voodoo doll.
Oh my God, they stab it.
Oh boy.
There are amigurumi behind the camera, so if you've ever been into Yarnia, you can see we have Nick Collage behind us, where Woolfolk is behind the camera, and then there's a bunch of samples, including some of our amigurumi, which if you are, say, perhaps... Oh, careful! Spiky! Spiky!
Spikes.
Here.
Needles.
Now you can hug me. Yeah! So if you're, say, a wee one, the most interesting thing is directly in your view. I know, my hands are sweating. I'm sorry, buddy. That's because I'm warm.
But, yes, so we're recording this, as always, on Tuesday. And for my big kids, they are back in school today. But his preschool is on winter break all week long. And I didn't remember that until this morning.
What is this?
Did you try to drop him off, or did you?
No, I
do this
didn't.
Before that,
I sort of thought to myself, some school districts take Tuesday off too. Maybe I should check the Tuesday tidbits to see if I'm supposed to show up. And they're like, enjoy your week off. And I'm like,
I was telling Jonathan was like, some people have Tuesday off. And I was like, some people have the whole week off. And he's like, oh, really? Who? And I'm like, case in point.
Milburn has the whole week off too.
Milburn has the whole week off?
Yeah.
How do they get in enough days?
I don't know. I really don't know.
So snuggly. I love him. I love littles. Especially
Yeah.
when they're not my littles.
Really fun.
Yeah.
My littles are now
So
big.
cuddly.
So
I
big.
love your yarn.
Thank
you.
I love
It is so good.
I know.
You are
He's such a
full of
yarn store baby.
compliments. You are a yarn store baby. You really are.
You're going to be great at the compliment.
I mean, we were
This is
talking.
your compliments. I love your yarn.
I love your yarn. We were talking about Valentine's Day and what kids do for. You love my yarn?
Yeah.
Thank you. I love your yarn.
Yeah. Tell them
Your
your story.
yarn.
You like
But I love your long yarn.
My long yarn. This one that I'm working on, right? Cool. So for Valentine's
Here's a little
Day.
piece of yarn you can have if you want. Okay, it's left over from my vest.
So excited. For Valentine's Day for 4th grade, my younger son's teacher, they do a compliments poster. So it's a piece of poster board. It is like. And they do a piece of poster board and you just put your name in the middle and you do a border and then everybody writes a compliment for everyone in the class.
That
and
is so nice. I
Like,
love
it's
that.
so lovely. And also I didn't have to buy Valentine's this year.
that's awesome.
Gone. And
But it's
there
so
was-
much more meaningful.
It is.
Yeah,
Max
that's so
still
cool.
has his from 4th grade.
That's so fun. I love
and
that.
it's funny because when we were doing the compliments, I was like, you gotta try not to repeat it. And it was still like, you are kind and funny. You are funny and smart. You are kind and funny and smart. You know a lot about soccer and I'm your friend. Like,
So
which is
cute.
adorable.
Yeah.
Max's were all like, you know a lot about Star Wars and you're funny. And Ollie's were like, you are smart and know a lot about soccer, except for they all called it football because there's a couple of like transplanted Brits in class.
Uh-huh.
Yes, and that's what you do.
Exactly.
Yeah,
They're all
yeah.
like, footy and like,
Football.
wear your boots. But it was really cute. It was really cute. And I also very much appreciate not having to do the scramble of the last minute Valentine's. You love my long yarn? Is it like it's blue and green? Do you like blue and green?
Yeah.
Do you want to say something about your sweater? Do you like your sweater?
But I love green and yellow.
You like green and yellow.
Yes, he does.
I have a little piece of red
interesting.
yarn if you would like that one.
My younger
My
son's
sandals.
favorite colors are green and yellow. Yellow is his second choice.
I think
Yellow is Jean's favorite
knitter
color.
compliment posters.
Yeah, I know.
Do that. It would be like, your gauge is so even.
Right. I like that.
I love
the
your
compliment
color
posters.
choices.
Yeah.
Like
Your ends are woven in so neatly. Right?
You passed
I
on
love it. Knitter
the
compliments.
first time with the right number of stitches. You did
Best.
You can count to 100 without stopping or going like this to everyone around you.
Or counting louder.
Or counting louder.
That's my personal favorite, counting
Oh
louder.
my god, I do that all the time where I'm like
Yeah.
5, 6, 7, 8.
Oh, I was totally
Nine?
doing that. Yeah.
Or I'm like, remember the number 66. And they're like, why? I'm like,
Yeah.
just remember it.
Just remember it. It's important for 5 minutes.
It's
and then I
important.
don't care anymore.
And then I'm like, what was that number? And they're like, I don't know.
Oh.
You're of no help to me.
Do you know what? Gene is so well trained. You know what he does? He puts it in his phone. He makes a note in his phone.
He's good. Jonathan remembers, but then gets
Oh, Gene will
distracted.
not remember.
Then he gets distracted, and then he's like, wait, what? So we're a podcast all about knitting and crochet and yarn, if you couldn't tell. We haven't had a special guest in a while.
In a long while, yeah.
Like a year, honestly. I think our
Yeah.
last special guest was Amy Gilles of La Bien Aimée.
Yes,
Oh,
our last
February.
special guest was a grown-up.
She interrupted a little bit less.
Yes, yes. She,
Yeah.
But she may have said, I like your long yarn.
Yes, I'm
Mommy,
sure.
it's a fishy mommy.
I see.
Oh, look, you made a fishy. That's pretty awesome.
So I don't know how long Teddy will hold out with us here. He also has Play-Doh at the back. And if things get really desperate, we go to Blue's Clues. So
Break glass
Blue's
in
Clues
case
is
of
that
emergency.
Baby.
Break glass in case of emergency for Blue's Clues.
So
Yeah. You guys can't see how long his eyelashes are, but oh my god.
oh, yeah, and thick.
Like, I'm dying.
Yeah.
Dying. So
um,
cute. Do you want to talk about his sweater?
sure. We'll mix things up just a smidge just to talk about his sweater. Because this one I have shown before. This was on a prior podcast cover. I think
piece, okay?
no, you don't. You're good.
You're good.
You're now a model.
The truck is
Be quiet.
broken.
The truck is broken.
My older one, everything was a train. Are you everything as a truck?
No.
No, just that truck.
Just truck
That
inspired
one.
today.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember you made that sweater.
That was for Charlie, right?
It was for Charlie, but this was
Yeah.
the summer of 4 teddy bear sweaters. Do you remember that?
I
Yes.
do.
This
Yes.
is the teddy bear sweater by Petite Knits.
Yep.
But it doesn't have a teddy bear face on it. But I would.
But it's like a great kid raglan sweater.
It's a great kid
Yeah.
raglan sweater. And if you ever
Hey,
need
Mommy,
to
I
put,
made an angel.
you did make an angelfish.
Nice.
If you ever need to put a teddy bear face on the front of anything,
Mm-hmm.
that pattern is worth the cost just for the placement of stitches for the teddy bear face.
Yeah.
Because it turns out cute every time.
Yeah.
There are. I
I
have.
made a car.
Let's see. Here, that's a better angelfish. But
Mm.
No.
I will say I have put a teddy bear face on a couple of customers' sweaters when they're like, I can't do it. Just do it for me, Amanda.
And you're like, oh, just it's duplicate stitch, right?
No, it's not even. It's embroidered.
Oh,
Yeah.
better.
But she tells you like exactly where to place
Oh.
every stitch.
Yeah.
That's nice because if you're embroidering something, sometimes that if you just tweak the placement of like an eyebrow or an eye, all of a sudden you have an angry.
Yeah,
Yes.
you go from happy to angry or snarky or whatever.
Cute to like,
No, but they always turn out good if
Creepy.
you follow the pattern in that
Yeah.
one. It's so good. So I made 3 for friends who were having babies, and then Teddy or Charlie at the time, I was like, I'll just use this pattern and make you a sweater. So I used King Cole Cherish, which is their self-striping, self-patterning colorway, and
Hey, Mommy, I
Teddy.
made an arrow.
I see that.
hmm.
So Charlie loved the sweater. It lived in his backpack. And he wore it like, in the fall or in the spring.
Mm-hmm.
It basically-
Transitional weather.
Yeah, so he would wear it to preschool every day, or, maybe he would think he didn't need a coat when he got there, and then actually he did.
Yeah.
So this was like his preschool every day. And I'm going to give you some Teddy Cam for just a minute. Like,
Yeah, instead of carrying him up there.
yeah.
It's a little
So
easier.
check out the pilling or absolute
Lack
not.
of.
Complete lack of
I have
pilling.
never gleaned or used a sweater shaver on this sweater.
You're enough, girl. You're enough.
Oh, there's his long eyelashes.
Oh my
And
gosh.
look at this.
Can you imagine?
Like,
My
that is probably 40 times in the washing machine.
And not just in the washing machine, but in the washing machine with everything else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
literally, 4 kids' other clothes piled in, jeans, whatever.
buddy.
Sleep mats.
You're my buddy.
Yeah.
I mean, I gotta say, like, King Cole is one of
Daddy,
the
daddy, buddy, buddy.
better hard-wearing acrylics that still feels nice.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
you can get a hard. I mean,
You feel it too.
you can get like a hard-wearing acrylic that feels like a Brillo pad.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Baby, don't put your eyes out on the sidewalk.
Ah.
That would not be a fun thing.
Now you're loved.
I know. But like, and you can get like beautiful, like machine washable things that pill as soon as you look at them and that feel delicious.
I
But
love
like,
your yawn.
thank you. Really appreciate that.
I think we have our title.
This is my.
I love your yarn.
I love your long yarn. I love your long yarn. But like, I mean, the fact that it's machine washable and it holds up this nice.
Yeah.
Like,
That's why I made Catherine's blanket out of it.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Been looking forever. And look at that. Like, it's still white.
it is still white. There's no.
Yeah.
Also, how do your children just not spill, or did it just wash that way?
It washes out.
Oh, see, that's amazing.
Mommy,
Yeah.
something's
No,
Honestly, that's the kind of thing that I need for myself, considering I'm always
So
spilling
I
for
would-
myself.
I mean, it feels good. If you,
Yeah.
you know, if you like an acrylic sweater, I totally recommend for
Yeah,
adult sweaters too.
it really holds up nice.
Extremely well. I love it. So
Beautiful, and plus such a handsome model,
Definitely.
right? It's such a cutie patooties.
Now he's distracted. Perfect.
that's
All right,
perfect.
let's talk about actual around town.
Actual around
Yeah.
town, not just around.
What else is
Yarnia
happening
town.
around
What
town?
else is? We talked a little bit about Valentine's Day, at least at school level.
All right,
Mhm.
so I know some things that are happening around town.
Tell
We
me more.
are next weekend, the 2nd of March, I think. That's a Saturday. They're
Yes.
having maple sugaring at Vleck.
No,
Nice.
really?
Yes,
Oh,
yes,
wow.
yes. So you can go get your family tickets, and it's about an hour program, and you can take home some tasty maple syrup. Maple sugar.
Are they gonna do it like Laura Ingalls with a giant cauldron over a fire?
I don't know.
Because I love that.
Can you go play Play-Doh?
My children might not want to go, but you might see me there.
Yeah, it doesn't
Yeah.
have to be the
I'll be
children.
like, dude.
Adults can.
We have
That's my
we have
favorite
family
part.
coming that day.
I need my yawn.
I know.
Well, yeah, of course.
Are
you
you
do.
got your
watch,
yarn?
watch behind you, babe.
Yep, watch out for the camera. Don't
Um,
knock it over.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Gallops away.
Yeah, so there's that. We have had actually tickets to the circus for the same day.
Oh.
no.
That was
I mean, yay.
That was the kids' Christmas present, was tickets to the circus.
Which circus?
Barnum and Bailey. It was at
Nice.
Prudential Center. Yeah.
I didn't
nice.
know.
It's coming to town. The circus is coming to town.
Mhm.
So,
A friend of mine from high school used to be the ringmaster
are you serious?
at
Wow.
Barnum Valley, Big Apple Circus, and now has his own circus, Bernardo Circus.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's
which
so
is
cool.
hilarious because he grew up and ran away to join the circus.
Yeah, he really did.
You know, after college.
After college, ran away to join the circus.
Right.
Hey, so
So
he's
my
got something.
parents are like, why don't you run away to join the circus? Have you ever given this thought?
But he's
That's
amazing.
cool.
Yeah, I saw him on the. There was one year where I knew he was a ringmaster, but we were watching the parade, the Macy's Thanksgiving Day parade,
Uh huh.
and I was like, "Oh my God, that's Kevin Bernardo's! I know him!" And I was like, "What the heck's he doing?" So I texted my friend who was his prom date, and I was like, "Becca, what's going on?" She's like, "Yeah, he's like on TV."
Oh, wow.
Mhm.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So that's what we're doing around town. That's actually like around town and not Yarnia around town.
Yeah, not just yarn focus.
We have yarn things happening too.
Oh, we do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
we do. We have And we just came off of a yarn thing happening this past weekend or last week when by the time we were watching this was our Color Wheel Yarns trunk show, which was super fun.
I saw that you got
I
to
came
stop
by.
Yeah, I was not able to be here.
It was so fun. And I have my name tag in my car because I wore it home.
Ah,
as
As
I
we do.
That happens all the time.
As we
often do.
I was Abby.
Yeah. Which confused at least one person where they were like, why are you calling her Abby? Her tag says Amanda. I'm like, oh yeah, she and her mom switched tags. And they were like,
Okay.
cool.
That's
But she was like, her tag says like Amanda. And I was like, no, she's Abby. Yeah, that was super fun. And then we also have another trunk show coming up.
Yes, we do, which we just announced yesterday.
Yeah.
We are our Crafty Gamer Geek is coming to Yarnia, Crafter Gamer Geek. So David is bringing his yarns here on the Ides of March, and that's the only way I keep remembering.
Isn't it
Date?
nice when you have a way
That
to
is a
remember the
good-
date like that? Yeah.
Now I will remember it, which
Yes.
is a Friday night.
It is.
Yes,
So it's
Friday
Friday
March,
afternoon and evening.
March 15th, Friday.
Also Kim's birthday.
Is it really?
Yes.
Super fun.
That's how I remember her birthday. It's the Ides of March.
Ides of
It's
March.
like one of those memorable things.
So we intentionally put it on a Friday so that all of our friends who are in New York City can easily take the train out and come see us.
Yay.
Because not only are we having a trunk show with David on the afternoon from 1 to
4, 5.
5
1 to
when we
5.
close, then we also are having game night from
It's
6
fun.
to 8. So I'm super excited for that. I think it's going to be a fun event. There are signups on the website. Everything's down below. It's $5 for like cover charge. We're going to have snacks and
For the game night.
drinks. Yeah, for the game
For
night.
the game night. No.
Yeah, for the game night. And we'll have 2 TVs set up. One with Genshin Impact. So we're going to have Genshin on a PlayStation here, which will probably be logged into my daughter's account or my son's account, one of the two. And then at least this could happen a lot.
Turn around and say hi when you come in.
At least 2 mobile devices
Yep.
that will have the game loaded. If you have your own mobile device, you can bring it and join in to finish your daily commissions or whatever else you want to do,
Yep.
like things in your world or their world or whatever. My daughter is level 58, so she's pretty strong. I think max is level 60.
Wow.
So she plays a lot. But my son is level 35, and it's like something she was telling me. It's something about like the level of I'm like level 14. Okay. I'm still in Mondstadt. But like she was telling me her level is so high that some people might not be able to join her world, but
Oh.
everybody can join Eric's world.
Okay.
So we will have a solution. And if you don't want to bring your mobile device, you can log in on my phone or Beth's phone too and play. So
And then we'll have a second TV
Yes.
with...
Mario Kart.
Yay.
I love
Just
Mario
love Mario
Kart.
Kart.
Me too.
Yeah.
It's also, if you're not like a super gamer,
Okay.
Mario Kart is very easy entry.
That's not nice.
And hilarious.
And hilarious, and then like it's super fun.
Yes.
It's super
Yeah.
fun, and it's a good multiplayer game.
It is. And you
Definitely.
can either do the races or you can do just like the grab as many coins as you can.
Yeah,
one.
which is always fun.
It's the what are they called? The melees?
The melees, yeah,
Those are just so silly. They're utterly
because
silly.
you're just driving around like a crazy person.
Yes,
Mhm.
like cat, get as many coins as you can in
Yes.
3 minutes or whatever.
And I will also be bringing for the non-video gamers, but the board
Yes.
gamers.
Mhm.
I will probably be I'll definitely be bringing Flux because that's a good game too, because anyone can join and you can like deal in or deal out if you have to leave. It's a great, super fun multiplayer game. Easy, very easy entry and very easy rules. And then I also have Settlers of Catan and Carcassonne and like a bajillion other things. But
I
I'll
gotta
probably bring...
Oh, we were thinking we had Catan Junior, which
Oh,
is
Catan Junior is easier.
shorter.
Yeah, Catan Junior is a good one.
We also have Ticket to Ride Junior, which is also fun.
Ticket to Ride is fun too.
I love Ticket to Ride.
And Flux is... one of the reasons I was thinking Flux and Zombie Flux is because it's a good party game where you can, like, if you need to peace out.
Yeah.
And then you just put your cards in the discard pile. And then if
Oh,
somebody wants to
cool.
join in, you just deal them
Redeal
cards.
Oh,
from.
fun.
Nice.
it's super easy. So you can flow. If you can try a hand and then be like, yeah, I'm done.
I'm just gonna, and
If you're waiting for your turn at Mario Kart,
yeah,
Mhm.
or you can just, what I usually
Nice.
do is just sit and knit and watch other people play.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Which
Exactly.
is the best.
and I'll tell you, I enjoy watching Mario Kart because
Yes.
my kids will play Mario Kart and get very into it, and then they're like, "No, you threw a bomb at me," and I'm sitting there like, "That's funny."
I know, it is fun.
It is
Super fun.
entertaining.
So, and we've got a ton of controllers because during COVID, we kept like needing more controllers.
Yes.
And some of them drift, like how the controllers start to drift.
Yeah.
So I
Right.
would just get more. But then I found out you can send your controller back to Nintendo and they'll fix the drift
Yes.
for free.
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
We
I'll
took
put a link
advantage
down
of that
below
too. Yeah.
for the repair.
What is
I
the
need to
date?
do that.
What is the date of this?
15th, March 15th.
Okay.
Yes.
It's in March. And also,
Yes, of course, we were saying.
the trunk show will be open during game night. Yes?
Yes, the trunk show's
Mhm.
open during
Yeah.
game night.
So, like, shop. So, if you can't make it during the afternoon, come in the evening
Yeah.
and have a good time and shop.
I think
and
that's all
play.
of my around town.
I think that's a good around town.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good
It's a
one.
lot. Oh, no, I'm lying. It's not all the around
No,
town.
it's not.
Because then the next weekend, we have Knit for Food.
That's right. Exactly. Yep. Yep.
So talked about, oh my
Did we
goodness.
talk?
He just wants to be heard. I'm going to put him.
Go for it. We'll take a little-
We're breaking the glass.
Yeah.
So, Knit for Food
Yes.
is on the
It's the
22nd.
following Saturday, right?
I want to say
23rd?
23rd.
Has to be, because the 15th is a Friday. That means the 22nd is a Friday, and the 23rd is a Saturday.
There we go.
Yes.
Math.
Yeah.
That's
So,
the extent of my arithmetic, as we've already discussed.
like if only weeks were by 5, I would have a much easier time.
Definitely.
Yes, so the 23rd is Knit for Food, where we should just give a brief rundown of what it is.
Yep. So it's Laura Nelkin, who is a pattern designer and personality in the knitting world. She also has a podcast. I'll link that down below too. You should check it out. It's a lot of fun. Not G-rated, FYI, for those who have little ears. All the time. It's not always. So she started Knit for Food. This is the 4th year, and it is a knitting event to address food insecurity. So I'm not going to name the charities that it goes to because I always forget not to look it up. But the proceeds that are raised go to 4 different food-based charities. I'm not naming them.
You can look them up down below. Click through
use the link
to Knit
below.
for Food.
Yep.
And
Yep.
that's also where
Got
you
all the
can
info.
donate.
Yep. And there's 2 ways to donate. You can donate. You can create your own team or sponsorship page, your own sponsorship page, and collect sponsors. Have your own donations, get sponsors, other people to donate, so people can sponsor you during this 10, 12-hour
12.
knit-a-thon. It
12,
starts,
10 to
yeah,
10,
it's 12. It starts at 10 a.m. and goes to 10 p.m. So similar to a walkathon or a bikeathon or an Indiathon. We are putting in the hours of work in order to raise funds to end or to address food insecurity. We will have Yarnia open during a lot of those hours, not all 12.
Not all 12.
But 10 of them. So, starting at 10 a.m.,
Mm-hmm.
you can come grab your coffee at any of the 5 coffee shops in our neighborhood.
Yeah.
Or bring your own from home. Or go to another one, I guess.
Yeah.
Whatever. But we don't have coffee here, Yarnia.
5, 6.
We don't have it here because we have an embarrassment of riches in terms of beverages.
Yeah.
Like an
yeah.
embarrassment of pandas.
Yes.
Uh, but yeah, so there are tons of coffee places. You can come an hour before the store opens and start knitting. We'll have the back table open all day long. You can join in the fun. There will be live stream events that Laura is bringing the folks from the organizations who the donations are benefiting. There'll be talks from all of them. There's talks from like a knitting Pilates instructor or yoga instructor, so
Oh,
you get a
nice.
little bit of stretching and
Yeah,
relaxation.
because that is a lot of
That
knitting.
is,
a lot of
like,
hours
get your
of knitting.
ergonomics in.
Yeah,
I
Yeah.
bet we can put that on the TV with the closed captions.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, definitely. So it'll be a fun day of knitting content and knitting hanging outness,
Yeah.
community.
Community building and
Wording.
So we talked about one way to to join is to set up your own page. Another is to
Right.
join
Join
Team
Team
Yarnia.
Yes. So if you're like collecting your own sponsorships isn't something you're into, but you'd like to donate to the cause, you can just donate to Team Yarnia. We have our sponsorship link down below. And so, yeah, if you are coming to Yarnia to knit and hang out that day, we do ask that you make a donation, either have your own sponsorship page or make a donation to our sponsor page. We're not auditing, just sort of do the right thing.
Mhm.
Um,
Honor system.
And we will also be having a food drive, collection box here at
Mhm.
Yarnia for non-perishables for Tony's Kitchen, which is a local organization.
that's awesome.
That's Knit for Food, and I think that's
Yeah.
all of my around town, and I'm really glad I remembered to put that.
I
at
am
the
glad
beginning
you
as well.
remembered too because I
Very good. Yeah. I was not focused on that today.
You know what I realized we also forgot is which episode this is.
Yes.
Ta-da.
Very good. So what do you think, Jen?
119.
Higher.
121.
Yes.
I was like,
All right.
wait, was last
Last one was, I don't know why, like
120?
120 is like a weird sort of milestone.
It
I
is a
love
weird
round numbers.
I like round numbers too.
I really
I'm
like
all
round,
right,
round
121.
numbers are much more
That's a
memorable,
lot.
except for like the 25s.
We're at a lot, man.
Yeah,
That's impressive.
it is 121. That is
All
true.
right.
Oh, and we also didn't say, did
Oh,
we?
yeah.
If you're joining us for the first time, welcome. And if you made it through our little unconventional intro, and if you're a returning viewer, welcome back.
Yeah.
Not quite sure why, but our last episode, I would think we probably have 5,000 views by now, which for
Wow.
us is a lot.
That is a lot.
So
Thank you, guys.
Thank you for checking
Yeah.
us out, for enjoying
That's
it.
awesome.
You know, I would say one of the things people say most often about us in comments is that we really are informative in addition to being amusing in one way or another.
Yeah.
No, it's true
Yeah.
because we do, we talk about a lot of, like, not just what we did, but why we did it. And,
Yeah.
and I think that, especially as people are growing their skills, it's just useful to hear that in like bite-sized chunks, right?
Yeah.
We're not doing tutorials necessarily, but we always try to talk about why we did what we did and what we
Yeah.
learned from it.
Well, and I feel like sometimes,
Share the
I mean,
knowledge.
I know that my memory retention as I age and as the children have sucked the memory
It
from
does.
me.
Have towards the mommy brain.
That's why I can't find words anymore.
I can't. Oh my God, word finding. Plus, I mean, and then you hit like perimenopause, and you're like, the word finding goes out of the world. But basically, it's like I don't know. I seem to retain things in a conversational manner more so
Uh-huh.
than in a. Yeah, I mean, still, if I actively go and seek something that I'm like, I need to learn how to do blah blah blah, or I want to know the reasoning behind blah blah blah. But like, I don't know. When I
But
feel
like picking up random facts is almost
picking up
easier,
random
right?
facts. It's
Yeah,
like I
yeah,
can
definitely.
remember. It's like, oh, I learned this because I was talking with this person whose name I can't remember.
Yeah.
But I remember what you were
But
talking
her
about.
dog's name is
But her
Pippa.
dog's name is Pippa.
That podcast
As a
was about 15 months ago, by the way.
oh my God, that's terrible.
How do you know that?
Because I was looking up. We'll get to it. But I was looking up Pokemon this weekend. I had to go hunt for the episode.
Yes.
Oh,
So
with the-
we were
with the
talking
Pokemon.
about different.
I mean, that is also handy from our perspective, where it's like, wasn't I working on a project like a year ago?
No,
And-
I'm sorry. It must have been 2 years ago, January. Yeah.
Wow.
Oh yeah, it
wow.
must have been. Actually, you're right.
Oh my goodness, that's crazy.
I
And
know.
I think that's when we really started doing like the more than just like the number titles, really making
Right.
sure.
Yeah, having like a name.
Because and the reason we started doing that was because when I watch other people's podcasts, I will never remember if I watched episode 102, and things are never logged in on the right account on
Right.
our YouTube at home.
Yeah.
There's only 3 of us who use that TV, but still, if I'm watching it on TV, yeah, I don't have a good record of what I've seen. So
Yeah.
having a name to me, it's like, oh yeah, I saw the episode where her dog's name was Pippa.
Right. Like we
You
talked
know,
about blah
I
blah
know
blah.
that.
I remember that.
Whoa! I thought that was a fire engine.
Not a fire engine.
Child. Small
Just
child.
Teddy. Just a small child.
He's recovered from his sulking.
Yes, he's no
Aw.
longer. He is now happy again. He's very
Great.
cute.
Poor little peanut.
Very cute. Oh.
I mean, that is the nice thing about little kids is that they bounce back.
Oh, certainly.
And he
forgot why
literally
was
is. He literally is
Right.
bouncing at the moment.
That's funny. Ollie never forgot why he's mad. He just gave up on it. But then, like, 2 weeks later, he'd be like, remember that time I threw my teddy bear and I was mad? I'd be like, yes.
Which time?
Why do you remember this? Like, stop. Talk about good memory. And that's where all of my memory went. It went sucked into him. But we should hop
We
to
should start talking about some
finished objects. So we already talked about Teddy's finished object.
Yeah, we
Right.
did. Yeah, we did.
Teddy's finished object is his Teddy sweater. Non-Teddy
Quiet.
Teddy sweater. And then who should we start with? Do you want to continue going, or do you want?
I have
you
no
a toddler?
finished objects except what I'm wearing, so which is the same thing as your finished object.
I know. Well,
Yeah.
you want me to talk about it?
Yeah, because I
Alright.
have a toddler.
I actually have finished objects, which is
Woohoo.
shocking. Let me finish this one
And
needle.
finished objects plural too.
Finished objects for.
I love your yarn.
You know what? That will not get old. I will
It never
take.
does.
I know,
I will
really.
take every sweet compliment from a sweet little boy that I can get. I love you.
I love your
He's like,
yarn.
I love your yarn. Oh, you're so cute. Oh my gosh, I get tickles too. Ah!
Okay, now
You're
we're
a good
gonna
tickler.
we're gonna
Okay,
listen
now I
to
gotta
Jen
do a
talk.
show and tell.
We're gonna listen.
Okay, you ready for
Yeah.
show and tell?
And with show and tell, everyone takes their turn, right? This is Miss Jen's turn.
Right, so you're gonna listen with listening ears, right? Do you have your listening ears on?
Ears open, mouth shut.
I don't know. Or we also do was it Quiet Coyote? Quiet Coyote.
Oh, I don't know quite.
Quiet Coyote is hard because you're like Quiet Coyote, and that's an elementary school thing. So my first finished object, except for I realized when I tried this on for the opening shot, is that I forgot to weave in 2 ends, but
It's only 2.
It's
it's only 2 and it's fine.
Sorry.
It doesn't count. Is Amanda's Fullerton vest.
Woohoo.
Woohoo!
So nice.
So I did mine in the La Bien-Aimée Merino Boucle, and I did it in Rama Phenol Garn.
Yeah.
I said that.
Garn for
Rama
the-
Phenol Garn, which is a heavy
Circus.
fingering. And it came out so well. I'm so
Very nice.
excited.
Very cute.
I made mine. I did my size choice with negative ease across the full bust, and probably 0 ease across the upper bust. And I have to say the fabric is super stretchy. So when this pattern comes out, if you are on the fence between sizes, think about how you want it to fit.
So
I would
pretty.
choose according to upper bust. Because I think regardless of how big your full butt, whatever the change between upper and full,
Yeah.
I think you're going to be fine. This thing can stretch
Yeah.
like a bajillion things. And it was so
Mine
quick.
stretches at least 6 inches.
Oh my
Uh-huh,
God, right?
uh-huh.
And like
Yeah.
this could go even farther.
Yeah.
Like this could be super far. I would say it did not take me that long to do.
No, you did
No.
this really fast.
Right?
You did it less than 2
Where,
weeks, right?
where,
Yeah, I would say less than 2
where
weeks.
were you last episode? You were you
Last
had
episode,
done a few inches of the body, maybe.
I was probably here.
Okay.
Last episode, right? I was on the body, but I had not yet divided. And I'll say the back did not take me long. I think I did the back.
Yeah, the back's super fast. That's
The
what I
back
know.
is super fast. I think that I did the back in maybe like 2 evenings.
Mhm.
And the
Mhm.
front I also did in maybe like, the front I think I did in 1 evening.
The fronts go
There's
super
lots
fast because
of
then there's like,
decreases.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then
exactly.
you get down to like, I have 20 stitches.
Yeah.
I have 14 stitches. I have
Right.
like nothing.
I have like nothing.
Just exactly.
I will say, so I made, is it the 42-inch size? Is it the
I think
42?
so.
Yes, I made the 42-inch size, and I literally used up every single inch. I pulled out my swatch, every single inch of the Merino Boucle, to the point where I was working from the both ends of the same ball when I was doing the fronts, and I did the front sides on. I did the left and the right fronts after dividing for the neck at the same time, specifically so I could do this. Just work from both ends of the same ball. I literally had this much space left, and I just broke it in half to weave in
Have
my
ends to
ends. So
weave.
I used up every single inch of the Merino Boucle. I am a loose knitter, but I will say if you're making the 42-inch size, it used up every
Or larger.
or larger.
You'll
You
want-
need more. And I will say the Merino Boucle is we literally just looked this up a minute ago. Here it is.
It's an hour ago by now.
218 yards. Okay, so if you were substituting a yarn like a mohair, you'll be fine because the mohair silk,
Yeah.
like
The yardage is so much higher. Yeah.
yards, or a Surrey alpaca.
Mohair lace. We'll talk
Mohair
about
lace.
this mohair, which is not lace.
Yes.
Where I'm on my second ball.
Yes. And if
Sorry,
we're using
what was your yardage again?
218,
Okay, so I should be okay with 2. I knew I would need at least 2. Question was
you're
whether you need
using
more.
the Landinord Cash
Cash
Silk
Silk
Light.
Mhm.
So I would say like 2, maybe 3 if you're on the largest size, but maybe not. I think if I had like literally
Those are 50-gram balls, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Or
Or
25.
25?
Maybe 25.
Yeah, maybe 25.
like
Somewhere on here, there is a measurement.
they're all air, right? All of these are
It is 25. Yeah, these are 25.
But if you were using something like the Color Wheel Surrey alpaca, this is 328 yards. I think
you'd be fine probably for any
Yeah.
size.
And then the phenol garn, I used essentially 2 balls of the phenol garn,
Wow.
which is probably a little less than 2 balls.
Yeah, which is also 50-gram balls. And they are what? 200
meters?
200 meters per
Mm-hmm.
Per thing.
50
So
grams.
like a skein of a
under
standard
the holy table.
100 gram
It's figured out a new needle gauge.
fingering weight yarn is probably fine. Yeah. So awesome pattern.
Yay!
I'm so excited. Since we're talking about Fullerton?
Yeah, we
Why
can
don't
just
I-
talk about
why
it.
don't I
'cause I've
talk
got
about
some
it? Talk about the
versions.
Fullerton.
Well, why don't you talk about yours because
Yeah,
you don't have a toddler on your lap at the moment.
Yeah,
Yes.
sure. And I'm wearing mine.
And you're wearing
Yes,
And
I
you
think
never
it was
know
good.
when one might come back.
It was a good day. Oh, it's true. I love hanging out with Teddy so much. But
He's
it's-
so
good
cute. He's
kid.
really
He is.
and very entertaining, actually.
yeah.
and a good conversationalist.
Yes.
I mean,
I love your yarn.
I love your yarn. Thank you.
He
Every
loves
time.
to talk to people so much, but
Yeah.
he
Extrovert.
wants to talk to people all the time. So if he's not part of the conversation, he's just gonna
be
make
offended.
noise. No, he'll just make his own.
Oh,
noise
make his own noise,
That's
have his
nice.
own little conversation.
until maybe you'll notice him again.
That's Max now at 15. Just saying.
That's cool for a 15-year-old and
Uh-huh.
unusual. A lot of 15-year-olds don't like to
don't
interact
talk.
with most anybody.
So I have mine styled today with a
So
flat
nice.
dress. So this is actually a V-neck dress, and the V on this dress is a little bit deeper than the
Perfect.
vest.
So, yeah.
Perfect.
It works
Yeah.
great.
It looks
Yeah.
so cute with a dress.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Well, I love this look. We're just popping a vest over, and
Yeah.
today is freezing.
It is so
It was
cold.
so cold.
So
It was
cold.
26 when I was driving, and I know you guys in Minnesota and Winnipeg bless
You're
your
like
heart
laughing at us.
so
It's
much.
But for us, it's cold.
Yes.
fine.
I bet. I'm curious. Do y'all have like garages attached to your house?
A lot of people
Because that
do,
would
and
make
they
such a
get
big
car
difference.
starters and things
I'll
like that.
tell
So the
you.
car is warm when you get in.
It's because, like, depending on when things were developed, if they were developed post-car,
Yes.
then you have garages attached to your house, so your garages are heated, as opposed to
We look
our
outside.
garages
Yeah.
Or
are separate buildings.
mine is just like my car's out on the parking pad, and it's like, oh, look at you, ice covered thing. I can't wait to sit on your cold leather seats this morning.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a heated seat?
I do, but it takes it beyond going to school and back to heat up.
Yeah,
I will
yeah.
tell you this: the Honda's heat and heated seats and their the heated steering wheel, that comes up so quick.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
much. My husband has a fancy car, and like his heated seats suck.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
My heated seats, I'm like, I am toasted warm.
Oh my goodness.
Exactly. That's
I'm
all
not.
you need.
It's great.
Anyway, so by the way, if
That's
you have
what
a
the
dress
best-
on,
Best is for.
pop it over and your core is warm.
Yes, which helps
It's
a
true.
lot.
It's really, really nice. I always say I could like get through almost anything if like my core is warm.
Mm-hmm.
I stand on the train platform with like boots or just leg warmers and skirts on all the
Yeah.
time, down to 15 degrees, no problem, as long as my core is warm.
I can handle a cold leg.
But anyway, so I finished this vest pattern, or I finished knitting the vest in November, which I think is the last time I wore this on the podcast.
Yes.
And then
In your cute outfit that I totally copied with my
Yes.
vest last time.
And which yarn did you use for your
And
accent
this
on
one?
that one? Amanda?
This one, I used the La Bien-Aimée boucle, Merino boucle, and
Curious Handmade?
Curious
Or-
Handmade, yes.
Yep.
And you used
I used
dough?
Fauna.
Fauna. Okay.
And I used not Rama. I used Hillesvåg. Yeah,
Yeah.
Hillesvåg.
Which is why I chose the Rama, because it was a similar
super
Very
similar.
similar.
Norwegian rustic.
But this is what Beth brought home from Norway, so I thought it was a good opportunity to mix some of the LBA with something I had in my stash.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this is the black with the LBA. Here's Jen's finished. The Rama, also with LBA. Rena Boucle. Da da da.
Plum.
I love that plum.
Me too.
And then I'm using for best number 2 for me. I'm sort of inverting the color. So this one I have dark with a light accent. This time I'm doing light with a dark accent. And I'm using not woolly wool yarn. I'm using Merino Superwash. So this is Mad Tosh in the color Central Park West. And we had this Femme Damate, which is a like DK weight mohair. It's 98% mohair and 2% silk, but that's just because they use the same size silk and spend a ton of mohair into
A lot
it.
of mohair, yeah.
It's like a ton.
All the mohair.
So it's like DK weight. It's actually quite thick. And I'm using that as the fluffy stuff. And yay! So I love that
You
too.
get a very different look with the same.
Yeah.
Just and it's like I feel like.
And you can see
especially-
like this is very fluffy and how
Right.
much that
Mhm.
That has-
relates.
yeah, like that
Yeah.
has the fluff dominate versus.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
You
Like
can
the
see
mohair
the
and then
plum
here-
much more here, where it's
Yeah.
this is a lot thicker. So it
And
yeah.
mine will probably be somewhere in between. You want to show
Yeah.
mine too? It's
It's,
so inspired by Amanda. I'm also using Tosh sock for
Oh,
my
yay.
ribbing. It's funny. I was not sure what I would think of the speckle for the ribbing,
Love it.
but
Yeah.
when I saw Amanda's, I loved it. I'm like,
Yeah.
all right, I'm going to do that.
What color?
It's really nice.
What color Natasha's on?
It's Urbane,
Urban.
which is
Nice
so
one.
interesting. It must be a relatively new color. I looked on Ravelry. There are no stash pictures for it. There are no colorway pictures for it.
It's very
it's-
cool.
It must be new, but I liked all the colors in it, and it
Yeah.
worked well with what I wanted to use for my floof.
It's a great neutral
So-
top.
And then
Yeah.
you're using with Cash Silk Light with your
Mm-hmm.
mohair.
My mohair
as,
soap.
as your floof.
And so I think it's not going to be quite as floofy as this.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see what it
We'll
looks
have
like.
we'll have a
I'm sort of
range.
testing the limits of
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I
the
think
interesting
this
thing
super
is,
cool looking.
Yeah.
it is
I
fun.
like it.
You know the way, Amanda, like you're like sometimes you need that 15 minutes to
Yes.
actually do something before you go on to the next step. That's where I've been with this for about a week.
yes.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
I finished my ribbing. I did it to 3 inches just because I like really deep ribbing,
Yeah.
and then I needed to figure out what needle size to use,
Yeah.
and I never had the 15 minutes to do that. So hopefully this afternoon when I get home, I'll do like a little almost like swatch in place. I'll
Yeah.
do like say 3 inches of the pattern with this and a couple of different needles and see where I want
That's
to
a-
be before I continue.
That's a really good tip to do if you don't want to cast on for another swatch, is to just swatch on the needles. Like go back and forth over 10 to 15 stitches, especially if you're playing with like needle size where the gauge is maybe not super important.
Not
Like you
super
don't
critical.
need to measure
Yeah.
it over like and wash it or whatever. You're just being like, is this does this feel too tight? Does this feel
Yeah.
too loose? Or if you're playing with color choices,
Exactly.
Right?
It's a
Like,
great way to do that too.
I recommend that for a lot of color work stuff, and I was suggesting that in the last color work class. I'm like, if you're torn between which is going to be the God, what are the words? Foreground and background. There we go.
Yep.
Word finding. The foreground and the background, and you're like, oh, I want to use these two colors, or maybe I want to do this. Just go back and forth over a little bit, like, and then you can just pull it out, and you don't have to worry about being like, I have to pull out 300 stitches.
Exactly.
I have to pull out 60
Exactly. It's like
stitches.
you've
I have
got-
to pull out 10.
You've got something in place, and I'll do like
Yes.
3 inches worth or something, just to 3 inches and work it for a couple of inches and see what I think of it.
Just to experiment.
So much easier than doing it on the whole thing.
So much easier.
I know. I was explaining that to somebody yesterday in the store, and it was just like
You can see a light bulb.
But she's like, "Oh my god, you mean I don't need to do the entire thing?" I'm like, "No, you've got your base there. Work on your base,
Yeah.
and especially part of this is done flat. It's not
Yeah.
even like
Yes.
you're subbing, working in the round or working flat for working in the round.
Yeah.
You will be working part of this flat as well.
And you're
So
practicing the pattern.
yeah, exactly. So
Just texting with one of your testers, Erica.
Oh,
Our instructor Erica, and she has the same issue with mohair that you do, where allergic and it will kill her.
Well,
she won't be able to breathe.
I just can't breathe. It's just I get really stuffy.
Just little things like no oxygen.
Well, no, it's mine. Mine is literally just it makes
just
me
makes you
sneeze and
stuffy.
uncomfortable.
Yeah.
My nose gets really stuffy.
Yeah. But and she was like the same question about like, you know, swapping in the mohair and like something different, and I was thinking of Amanda's like thicker mohair and your Surrey or not our cash silk light and like the Surrey alpaca and the fingering, and I'm like, I think it makes a lot of sense. There's a lot of variety in this.
Yeah.
Nicely done, Amanda.
Yeah.
I'm
excited. I can't wait to.
do turn out okay. And so this was like
Things you do turn out okay and better.
Listen to
Better than
her.
okay. Don't put yourself down.
I have low expectations for like anything turning out at all, and I'm often pleasantly surprised.
See,
I mean,
it's good. It's nice to be
good
pleasantly
approach.
surprised. Yes.
Then you're
Better to be
pleasantly
pleasantly surprised than disappointed, right?
And I'm rarely disappointed.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's
There
what
you go.
you know. Sometimes some people have high expectations of others, and then they're regularly disappointed, and it's really frustrating for them.
Yeah.
I mostly expect folks are not going to be so awesome, and then I'm like, wow,
It's a happier way to go through.
we're a total jerk today. What?
That's shocking.
Made my day. Made my day.
Do you have any other finished objects?
Well, no. I think that
Okay.
was one of my finished objects, was to get that pattern into testing.
That is
Yes,
a good
that is
finished
a
object.
nice finished object.
So
Yep.
that's in testing now. I hope that testers can be done by mid-March-ish, which I think should be plenty of time,
Yeah, I think so.
and get me comments. Although Jen, my super commenter, at this point,
she's like, stop commenting.
And I was like, what did Jen say? What did Jen say? Like, she's already figured some of it out. Why should no? It's
I have a
if we
spreadsheet.
know- If we know there are things that need to change, I'd rather work
that's
from
true.
the
At this
start
point,
B two,
like,
basically.
the pattern is really a co-effort between the two
Aw.
of us.
No,
Like,
I edited it.
She wrote so much of it.
I added it. This is the thing. She was texting me and she's like, "Oh, it's the wordsmithing that's hard." I'm like, "Gee, if only
Do
you
we
knew
know someone who could help
did
you with
that for a living."
So yeah.
Yeah, literally, my job. Copy editing, I'm not so good at. So if there's inconsistent capitalization,
That's
not
for the other tester.
That's for the,
That's more a me thing. That's
that's
totally a me
Kathleen.
thing. That's like,
Yes.
wait a minute. There's the 14th reference
Right.
is not the same as the other thing.
Make sure that you're using the colon and semicolon consistently. Not me. Perhaps you have too many M dashes. It's because of me. You don't though, because I
No,
understand
M dashes
myself.
are very helpful.
M dashes are helpful. I love an M dash.
So yeah,
yeah.
so I set up a Google Classroom for this
I know, which I'm
too, which I-
anxious
such a
to,
good idea.
to try out.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a good platform to like chat and share photos and share documents and updates of the pattern and like get everybody
Cool.
on the same page.
Nice.
So
if
you haven't
there,
used that before,
I didn't get a chance to look through the comments. If there's anyone who said they wanted to test and is not yet included, shoot us an email at hello@shopyarnia.com and we can make sure Amanda adds you.
yeah, I mean, I don't want.
You don't want a
40
million people.
You don't want a
but
million
there was at
but-
least one person who did say they wanted
If
to
you
that we may
if you
not
said
have
you
captured.
wanted to do it and didn't get an email yet, it wasn't because you were rejected.
No,
It
not
was
at all.
That
Not at all.
That's what
No
we
rejections.
mean to say.
Yes,
I think.
yes.
Because I think at this point everybody's pretty much started and
Okay.
a weekend.
Yeah.
Y'all know. Keep watching Chronicles of Yarnia. There will be a code when it's released too. That's how these things go.
Yes, that is a really good point. Yep.
All right. I have more finished objects.
Yay. Let's see what's
Okay.
finished objects.
So one finished.
so
I
pretty. Oh my
have,
goodness.
like finally finished my. Is this string of lights?
Yes.
Yeah.
String of lights socks, which are
No.
La Biena May,
No. You have to be quiet.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
May, and Totoro and May.
No.
It's the same color that you did.
Helen Sophie.
Howl and Sophie, thank you. I'm like, I knew it was.
It's so pretty. I love Helen Sophie.
So I did these babies.
It's gorgeous.
Top down, 2x2 rib. I don't remember what cast on I did. Looks like German twisted. I have partridge heel, my standard heel turn, foot, fin.
So these you knit entirely. These were not sock tubes.
These were not sock tubes. These were top-down socks because I needed a small project.
Mm-hmm.
So these babies are done. I had gotten an entire sock, as per usual. This is my way with socks. I get an entire sock done, and I get like 3/4 of a sock done, and then I'm on the foot. And then I forget.
And then you don't
about
carry
it.
it around.
And I'm like, I'm bored now. And then I finally finish them later, and I'm like, I need to really count how many rows I did on the foot, because that would be smart.
Nice when they match.
It's nice when they match. And so these guys are done.
Yay! So that's String of Lights by Sock Witchery.
String of Light. Thank you.
Lindsay, I forget what her last name is, but anyway.
And then these are these were a finished object before, but
Did you say semi-finished?
well, I mean like semi-FO because they had been finished.
your yarn.
I love your yarn.
I love
I love your yarn.
These were sock tube socks. And
It is
I
beautiful yarn.
had to re-knit one of the toes. It's this toe. So these socks are, I think this is Into the World something.
Mhm.
I don't know. I got it like probably 10 years ago at this point.
They do always have nice colors.
They
so.
have beautiful colors.
They're usually always at Rhinebeck. That's
Yes.
the place you see
Yeah.
that.
And that's where I got this, is
Uh-huh.
Rhinebeck. So I did a sock tube, and then I did a 1x1 twisted rib.
Favorite. Love that.
Love it. My standard toe and a star heel, which is an afterthought heel. And then I had to do a repair this
that's right.
past
Yeah.
week because there was on our third floor. There's a piece of an area of original flooring that has nails, and one of them was like, popped up, and I
Like 2 of
stepped
those
on
in our
it.
kitchen. I hate
For real?
that.
For real? Like, your foot?
No, it's
on it?
it's like
They
the
just
top
pop
was
up a
the
little bit.
top was popped up a little bit, so like it's not pleasant to step on, and we ended up like pounding it back in, but
When I was a kid,
ripped.
there was like a piece of wood that somebody had been like building something in the backyard and had left it behind the shed,
Did you
like
step
up,
on it?
and I was playing tag, around it, and stepped on it, and my
That's when you go get your tetanus shot.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I had
My-
one, but it was like not fun.
My dad has stepped on a nail up at the Cape before the renovation. Jonathan has stepped on a nail up the Cape before the renovation.
What?
1 year was Dad. Next year was Jonathan. I was like, oh my God, I gotta drive to the urgent care again.
Seriously.
Like, look, we are walking people, and then also stop messing around with nails.
Or at least if you have a nail, put it away.
Bang
Take
it
it-
down if you're leaving the
If you're leaving the board out, you have to
bang
get
it
it down,
down
or
so
take
that
it out, like properly
Yeah,
knock your nails
yeah.
out. Nail back
we
down.
have several spots in our house though where our house is 100 years old this year,
They just pop out.
and like they're in the stairs and things, and unless you're going to completely redo the stairs every couple of months or so,
You just
come
gotta
back
go
with the
pound
hammer,
it. And this is the
and
thing,
over
it's like,
time it works its way back up.
and I was wearing these, and then I took them off, and I was like, there's a hole in my toe. And I was like, God damn
That's
it.
annoying.
I actually think the AI, as long as he's not talking, if he's running around and thumping, the AI is
It'll
going to
probably
It's going to
Right,
get rid of
right,
it.
yeah.
Okay.
I'll just bump it up to 70%, getting rid of instead of
Yeah.
50%, and they'll be fine. It's just,
Donut is so cute.
It's so cute.
So I was like, oh no, I have a hole in my toe. But luckily, it was just on the contrast part. So the nice thing about afterthought heels and toes, and actually any toes, and if you're doing a top-down sock or a bottom-up sock, is that I was able to repair this. So in our Thursday,
Oops.
in our Thursday class, I ran my needles through the last row of the color, and I literally cut the old toe off and then pulled it out. And then I re-knit a new toe. And it's I didn't have the exact same yarn that I'd used for this, which
It's
I think was
close,
like
though.
United Sock, and this is Jadee for a sock. It's off-white, and I don't care.
Exactly.
So I re-knit the toe. And I was
Nice.
like, boom, done.
And did you do that rather than darn it just because of where it was?
It was a
It would
really
have been
big
annoying.
hole.
Okay.
It was
Uh-huh.
really open. I could have darned it. I'm not as good at darning as I was like, I would rather
It's like,
re-knit
yeah,
it.
just re-knit the toe, and then
If
you
it-
get a nice with total integrity, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
If it had been like closer to the heel, like in the color, I probably still would have unraveled and reknit it.
Uh-huh.
But if it had been, I mean, this is the advantage also of afterthought heels or short row heels to that effect. you can reknit a heel that is, and I don't know. I also, it's like the thing with darning, like I always like watching the darning videos. They're so satisfying to watch. But there's something about if you're replacing, I like Swiss darning, which is essentially duplicate stitch, right?
Yeah.
More than I like the woven patches, because I feel like the woven patch doesn't retain the same features that the knitted fabric does. It doesn't stretch in the same way.
Right, and I also feel like it almost can wear out more easily. It's just not part of the fabric the same way.
And weaving isn't necessarily as thick as the knit. And do I think...
Or almost can be too thick sometimes. I mean, it's like...
It could be too bulky.
Yeah.
Now, do I think that like that kind of visible mending is absolutely adorable on sweaters? Yes, because that's where I think
and jeans, love it on jeans. Yeah,
because I think there the contrast is really
it's fun. It's an added detail.
But like and also I'm fussy enough that I'm like, if I can feel a patch on the bottom of my foot, I will lose my mind. And it will make me so annoyed.
Princess in the Pea.
Princess in the Pea.
That's me.
That's why I knit my socks so dense. But this is also a lead into the other finished object we have this week, which is a joint finished object between Amanda and I, which is we finally finished our Afterthought Heels and Toes class.
Yeah.
So this is a not bespoke. What is it? It's
on demand.
It's an on-demand video class with a handout.
Yes.
So. And it teaches you how to do Afterthought Heels and Toes, and it's only been in process for like a year and a half because we are slackers. Not we.
No.
Me.
There just are always
it took
so
like a
many
month
things
for me
to
to figure out comments and figure out the handout. It's good now. So that should be. Is that available?
It'll be available.
Now?
Yes, it's available now.
It's available now. Woo-hoo. Are we doing a code for our?
We tried.
Yeah.
Let's
and
do a code.
I found a piece of funny.
Well, just figure out what the percent is, and then it'll be the information on the code is right here.
Our code right there is here.
Thank you for picking up Fuzz.
So,
Piece of funny.
what? Oh, you're a good cleaner. What you get when you get the class is you get a handout and the video download. The video is exclusive. You can rewatch it anytime you want. And the way that you take the class is you watch the video with the handout and your materials and notes. If you have questions, you can comment on the video, and then we'll respond. But it'll walk you through the basics.
Not immediately.
Not immediately.
A real time.
It's not.
No.
Yeah, I'm not going to be on it. Like if you happen to respond, like if I happen to respond quickly, consider yourself lucky.
That happened the other day with somebody asked a comment that was pretty detailed and I happened to know the answer to it, and literally I went on 5 minutes after they posted the comment. I'm like, this never happens. Like
Normally you're going to have to
unusual.
wait a day.
A day,
Right.
3 days, whatever.
Yeah,
but
when we got to it.
When I do that at work,
Yeah.
even if I know the answer, I'll draft the email and then just sit
And
on
then
it.
wait.
Well, but it was one of those things.
You want to manage expectations.
But the comments is like, I knew I just had to get it done.
Yeah,
but
sometimes
I was
you
like,
just got to do it.
I was like, I happened to be, in YouTube when you commented.
Yes.
Therefore, here is it's like this rarely happens.
Right. Which, I mean,
Those get saved.
we all know, right?
Yeah,
Sometimes
yeah.
when you're like, oh, I can just respond right now. And be like,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. So basically, the class will walk you through how to do an afterthought heel and toe, and basically how to place it, how to snip a stitch, how to work it, and it's generally assumed to be worked on a 64 stitch sock tube, which is the kind of a standard size sock tube. You can get sock tubes from us.
And I think that was what we said we were going to do. We were going to do a combo pack thing.
Yes,
if you
combo
wanted
pack.
to do, if you want to get a sock tube from us and do the class, then you would get
A discount.
so.
And the discount is here. And the code is here. So that is for podcast viewers.
Yes.
And
because Clementine has made, actually Amanda's got some sock tubes over there by her
do,
that,
yes.
that are pre-done.
we have some pre-done.
We do have some here in the store pre-done, but the really fun thing
Oh my
is
God, I
that
love this
you
one.
can pick any sock yarn that we have and have us crank a sock tube.
Look at
Right,
that.
rainbow
This
yarn.
is a cute
Yeah.
one. This is rainbow yarn.
Yeah.
Do you love that rainbow yarn?
Is that your favorite? He loves rainbows.
He's like such a happy kid.
Yellow and green.
Yellow and green.
Yellow and
Because they're
green.
right next to each other. Right? So
And
rainbow.
this,
Oh,
this
I
is
love
Grace
this one.
Notes. This is so fun.
Yep.
Top Sock Grace Notes. So we have some of these packaged with, suggestions for heels and toes. You may need, you may have things in your stash that you want to use.
Yeah.
Or
But
you can use the tube itself.
You can
Exactly.
also use
You
the tube
totally can
itself.
use the
I've
tube
done that
itself.
a bunch.
I always like the contrast.
I know the contrast is. I have to say, if you're doing it for the first time, the contrast is really
The
handy.
contrast
so
is helpful.
see
You can
what
really
you're
distinguish
doing.
what you're doing. Exactly.
Which is a very helpful thing to do the first time you're doing it. You love the rainbow ones. And I'll tell you, out of one sock tube, depending on the size foot that you're making, like I've made out of one sock tube, I've made socks for Ollie and for me.
I would say,
Contrast here.
yeah. Normally you can get 2 pairs of socks. If the first full pair is for a big size foot, you might get shorties out of the second, but
Yes.
you always will be able to get at least a full pair and shorties out of a tube.
Jonathan's Hobbit feet, he got one too. And,
Wow,
and I have some
wow.
well, he also wanted really, like, he
If
wanted
you
knee
wanted,
high.
yeah. Oh, so
Right,
that's
so
that's
he
a
wanted
little different.
tall ones.
But for your average, like
A normal
8,
person.
9, leg length, yeah, totally.
Yeah.
He
So if
ran off with the rainbow. He's like, I'm going to go look at it somewhere else.
oh good,
You're
okay,
like, "Precious."
go bond with the rainbow.
So we have a bunch of sock tubes that are already cranked, but if we can crank a tube out of any sock yarn that we have in stock, any fingering weight sock yarn.
That's appropriate. I mean, there's certainly certain ones you wouldn't necessarily.
I would not do it out of a single.
Exactly.
Don't make socks out of singles.
So, and also if you're nearby, so sock tubes from our socks are $20 each.
Yep.
We do ask that you allow about a week for us to crank them. If we have a lot at one time,
They have
they
to be
can back up.
processed.
They take at least 30 minutes a tube, at least, and sometimes more depending on whether Clementine's cooperating, whether the yarn's cooperating.
Yes.
If you happen to be nearby and bring us yarn that you already have and would like a tube from that, those are $25.
Like these.
Like
Exactly, like that. So, Clementine is so fun. She definitely wants to. She's looking to get
Eat up
busy.
your yarn.
So yeah,
In a good way.
combine some sock tubes with Jen's class, and you will have a slew of socks before you.
Yes.
Let's put them in this bucket.
So that's some of my finished objects. I have 2 more.
Oh my goodness! So
I know. I've been
goodness.
crazy.
Wow.
Well, these I was working on last time. So this
I
is
love this pattern.
right. Did
So fun.
I was in the middle of it, or did I show these? Already?
I think it was at class. I think
Oh, it
you
was
showed
in
me at
class,
class.
that's right.
Yeah.
So these are some hats for Jonathan that I made. He wanted
Wow.
color work hats, and he had picked out 3 colors of Tibetan. Which I
Isn't
think
that nice?
It's so nice, and it's really nice to work with. And he wanted warm. So this pattern, I have to pull it up because I
All
don't
right.
remember what it is.
While you do that, let me go see if I can entice this one with a Luesclues.
Okay, so Jonathan wanted a color work hat. Hemmed had picked out the colors of Tibetan.
They're so beautiful.
This pattern is Spring on My Mind by Monica Anna.
Cute.
And it comes with 2 charts.
Oh, I was
It's
That's
for
so nice.
multiple sizes.
I'm so not observant. I was like, wow, when you invert the colors, the chart
It
looks
totally,
so
totally different. It's a fantastically written pattern. The sizing is great. The charts are lovely. I think it's really adorable, and
Yeah,
you get 2
really,
charts
really
for
nice.
the price of 1.
That's nice.
Which I really like. And I will tell you, 3 balls of Tibetan, 3
Made
colors,
both hats.
made both hats, and I have a little left over
Oh,
of
perfect.
each. So if I
That's
wanted
great.
to do a palm, which
Uh-huh.
he does not want,
Mhm.
I had enough. I probably have enough for 2 hats and 1 palm.
Nice.
Do you know what I mean?
Nice. Mhm.
I wouldn't necessarily be able to get 2 palms out of it.
Mhm.
So because now the pattern is not written with a hem. He loves a hem. I love a hem.
Mhm.
So what I did was I provisionally cast on in the light green with 10% fewer stitches than the final stitch count. And then I knit down, and then I knit up, I did 5 rows of the dark green just because I didn't want it to show through.
Uh-huh.
A purl turning round in which I increased that 10%.
To match what
to
you want for
match-
the outside of the hat.
Increased back up to the 100% of the hat, and then she was like, do the ribbing for 12 rows. So I did plain knit
Mhm.
for 12 rows.
Mhm.
And then I started the color work chart.
So
Now this
nice.
color work chart does have a couple of rows with 3 colors in 1 row, just as a heads up. So if you are a beginning color work knitter and ambitious, knock yourself out. If you're a beginning color work knitter and a little scared of that, do something else with 3 rows. Do something else as your first
Oh, yeah, I
colorwork
see.
project.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a really
Does this
nice
one also
chart.
have 3?
It does.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So, and then I followed the decreases as per pattern. I actually did a little bit taller because he wanted it down a little bit more.
Mhm.
But, you know, whatever, knitter's choice.
So for your inside for the hem, it is not ribbed, right? It is stockinette.
It is stockinette.
Mhm.
Stockinette on smaller needles. I go down 2 sizes and I do 10% fewer stitches. So if it's a 100 stitch hat, in the end, I cast on 90 stitches, provisionally cast on.
Mhm.
And when you fold the hem up and knit it together,
Mm-hmm.
you gotta knit 2 together.
Uh-huh.
9
To-
knit from the front needle and the back needle 9 times. Knit 1 from the front needle
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
without anything.
Without
Again,
attaching it to
right.
anything.
So otherwise, you're gonna end up with a weird gap.
Yep.
So that's my standard
Mhm.
hem tat.
Question on hem tats.
Yes.
Do you ever do ribbing on the inside, or you just
No.
don't need to because of the
You don't
smaller
need to.
needle?
Smaller needle and
like
a
that.
smaller circumference, and
Mhm.
also the ribbing. If you have delicate, dainty, little sensitive ears, it's going to be a texture, and you might not want that texture.
Okay. And if you don't need it, it's even
Fuzzy
better.
pants. You don't. Need
I think I'm gonna go home and make a hem tat.
yeah. It's just a
No,
percentage
it's-
wise.
it looks so good.
It always looks so nice. If you
I'll
want
put Jen's
a
pattern, Jen's blah 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 hemmed hat.
classic hem tat,
Yes.
It's also down there.
it'll walk you through all of the steps basically,
Mhm.
but like the quick and dirty is what I just said, right? And then I made the second hat. I wasn't sure if I was going to have enough yarn, so I
Right.
just did this as per pattern.
Mm-hmm.
And I inverted the colors because I was like, look, it's a pretty gradient.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I stole these out of his jacket pocket this morning.
Nice.
Poor Jonathan.
Very nice.
You're cold today.
He's
I'll
told
take them up so you
today.
can see them.
They are beautiful. They really are.
Yeah.
Uh,
This is a change
he's
for him. He's-
Very I know. He
usually
is
has-
normally.
Very like all about the neutrals,
Most
right?
of his hats are like, I don't know, I want something dark. And then he was like, I want a color. Well, he didn't know the word color work.
Uh-huh.
He wanted a multicolor hat, and I was like, color work like these?
Mm-hmm.
And then we had to dive deep and find a pattern.
Nice.
Uh,
Good job.
Yeah, so that was good. So those are my finished objects. Those are my finished objects.
All right.
Wow. Nice.
I know.
I'm glad I don't have finished objects.
I know.
Otherwise, we would have just like an interminable
finished objects.
Well, I do have 2 more finished objects.
Yay!
Or 2 more. And one of them you saw in our opening photo.
Yes.
And
Oh my
it
God, he's so
is
cute.
the biggest dumpling kitty that ever existed.
craziness.
I want to hold him because he's so squishy.
He's so soft. So, like,
Oh
if you
my
want to
gosh.
make your own
Yeah.
squishmallow, like our viewer
Wow.
Kendra, who we had her picture last time, right?
Oh my gosh.
So-
Abby can't see that, or she'll
I love
She'll
him
abandon
so
her-
much.
her project.
Actually, this is silly. I should have gotten more dumpling kitties earlier. Should I go grab them?
He
Why
is
don't I?
squishmallowy.
He is very squishmallowy. Yes. I'm gonna go grab.
You want me to talk about it a little bit?
I'll be right back.
All right.
We're just going to be petting him.
Yeah, exactly. Pet the giant squishmallow. So, if you have ever been to Yarnia, you've probably seen some of our dumpling kitties. This one is one of the trio that Haley made before
Yeah.
we even opened.
Yeah.
So, and it's funny, this was like a random yarn that King Cole sent to us. People do occasionally ask for, what is it? It's like,
Yeah.
it's unknown. But this
Wears
is
well.
this is a DK version of Dumpling Kitty.
It does wear well.
And it is a free
King Cole.
pattern on Ravelry.
Yes.
One thing I noticed too, the original Dumpling Kitty, has paws. We have never done the paws. I think he looks super cute without paws.
I think he's cute without him.
So when Haley was home on break,
He's more dumpling-esque.
exactly. She made a dumpling kitty out of King Cole Yummy, which is like, it's a bulky weight yarn, right?
Yeah.
It is bulky. And so I saw that, and then with our last King Cole order, we got in Super Yummy,
Super yummy.
which is a super bulky, which is also not on Ravelry yet. I tried to attach the yarn and I
Oh,
couldn't.
yes. That's true.
But,
Squishy.
and look, his tail is so sad.
I
But-
know his tail needs like a little wire.
It needs to be shorter. Also, it could be shorter. But I was like, all right, let me just use an appropriate hook with this yarn.
Yeah.
And
pattern?
I could not, same pattern, I could not believe how big it got. I
It's
mean,
so cute.
it is really tremendous.
Well, when you were doing it before, when you had the ears to here, I was like, that seriously would be an adorable like Totoro hat. Right?
Yes, exactly. That's right.
Like,
I tried it on last episode. Yes,
Oh my God, it was
yes.
so cute.
Yeah, but I did bring him home and finish him during the Super Bowl, if I recall correctly. And I had to make some modifications because even though it really is the same pattern, when you scale it up that much, I had to add some height to it to make it look right. It just
that does
didn't,
make sense.
Yeah.
But when you add the height to the dumpling kitty, you just do a couple more rounds.
So one of the way, and actually none of these have stripes. The original dumpling kitty pattern has stripes, which there are some of them that, the purple one has the stripes. The purple one is made exactly to pattern.
OG.
Because of the stripes, and switching between the colors, the instructions, about doing your increases are a little confusing if you're not doing the stripes. Basically, if you were to do this, keep your increases in line with the outside of the ears.
Okay.
That's all you need to do. So that's what I did with this. Ignore the stripe information. Because he looks like a kitty as is, right? He looks like a little gray model kitty.
Yeah, he's a little.
So I kind of kept the increases in line with the ears, and there are certain rows where you don't do them intentionally. When I was adding height, I did stop.
Okay.
So this is actually 4 balls of Super Yummy. And the first 3 I did it to pattern, and then the last one I just crocheted straight down.
And to make him a little taller,
and
not as squat.
Same for the tail. I really did just kind of freehand because I didn't want it to be as long. And this, I have notes.
That's fine for a cat tail.
I mean, it's fine. And honestly,
like
if you wanted to, you could always
could even attach it or something. Yeah.
Tack him on, or throw a little wire in there, or pipe cleaner.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. So that didn't take you much time at all? I'm gonna tell you.
It did in a few days. And those are 20mm eyes. Those are 20mm eyes.
So squishy.
And I just had I had a bag of polyfill up in my sewing room that I just ran and grabbed and layered it in there. So he's really nice and soft. I tried to not overstuff him.
Amazing.
Yeah,
he's very fun.
He is so squishy.
So we're gonna have to figure out where the heck to put him in the store because he's so big.
In the front window. I think he should go.
Oh yeah, he should go in the window.
Yeah. In the window because some kid I know my kid's gonna be like, oh my god, look at the cat.
Look at that cat.
Look at that baby kitty.
He's bigger than life size. So
when Abby
is bigger than
life
size.
Want one.
He's Hugo size.
I definitely will. I will definitely have to put my notes in Ravelry.
Yes. And Haley's notes for these dumpling kitties are already in Ravelry, right?
I believe so.
I think so.
I believe so. Yep.
Or they might be in Yarnia.
Yeah, they're either under hers or Yarnia.
They're both. But look.
Yep. So cute, so cute.
Honestly, if you did him in solid gray, you could turn him into a Totoro.
If they had solid gray in this yarn,
they
do not.
Yeah, there are only 4 or 5 colors, right? I think we got all of them.
We have them.
Yeah.
They should do a solid gray, and then we can make a Totoro.
Yeah. So the other thing I have been working on, while I have not, unfortunately, been finishing testing Amanda's vest, is another vest. Because last time I was here, I talked about the project I was going to frog. It was my favorite.
Front of you. You're just a floating head now, Jen.
Oh yeah, we should put them off to the side.
We gotta.
I'm getting there.
Here, you can have your toddler size thing, and my toddler size thing may just come back to me
after Blue's Clues is done.
Kitty. The other dumpling kitty, right?
So I had been working on my favorite things, sweater number 9, I believe, with Manos Cardo. And, I don't think I had decided in the last episode that I was surely going to frog it. But by the time I got home, I definitely had decided to frog it. Love the yarn, love the pattern. They were not meant to be as a match.
Yeah.
So I went and looked at what other people had made from Cardo. And this vest, called the Timbo vest, and I do have let's see. Nope, that is the thing. We'll have to, Amanda will put the name of the designer down here.
Yeah.
Timbo vest. This is the pattern that has been made out of Cardo more than any other pattern. There are quite a few versions of it. So look how cute that is. It's so I just made this as a store sample, basically. So it is a broken rib pattern. You start, and this I did in less than a week. I started this at midnight last Wednesday.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Yeah, this was super quick.
Gabriella Calderini.
That is correct.
The Timbo vest. Gabriella.
It's so cute.
Calderini. So cute.
So, you cast on the neck, and you have little stockinette panels for the shoulders. It was funny during knit night. I was basically up to the point of dividing really beginning more of the body and having the shoulder flare out. And I'm like, why does that column go down there? It goes down there because it looks nice. It's like, originally I was like, why isn't this just narrower? It actually, it was a nice little thoughtful design detail.
Yeah.
See the way it branches there?
Yeah,
It actually does look really good. Yeah.
It does look pretty. That is a thoughtful detail.
Yep. So this is the second size. This is the small, I believe. And there were a couple of things that I did differently. One is that I realized after I was like about to, join for the body, is that it was written flat. It was written to be knit in 2 flat pieces.
Oh,
And
really?
I'm like, why would I ever do that? I
No.
wouldn't. So I didn't. So I joined, when I did cast on stitches for the underarm, I joined in the round. And then I actually added a plain stockinette panel
I
under
like
the
that.
arms
Nice.
instead of continuing the broken rib.
That
Partly.
it's a nice echo of the shoulder strap.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, exactly, right? And this also, your edging for your armholes really is just 3 rows of stockinette that kind of roll in a little bit. So I maintained that column of 2 all the way down.
Nice.
I kind of played with it as I was going. Like, I had about an inch of it, and I actually, dropped down in each column and played around with what I was going to do with them.
Yeah.
So I wound up separating. I kind of made a 1 stitch gap of purl stitches. I did, and also because this was written in pieces, you had 4 for my size, 4 on each side were cast on, but you're going to seam it, so you're really going to get to 7 rather than 8 as your total count under the sleeve.
Yeah.
So so there were 7 stitches in that stockinette panel, and I did the ribbing as specified, which basically is like you rib a few rows. I think I might have done 1 extra row. And you really can only see the ribbing in the stockinette panel.
Yeah, because everything else just kind of blends.
Yeah,
blends in. It
it's
looks
slightly
really
different.
Cute.
So cute. So, I'm really happy to have finally made something more than a hat out of Cardo.
Yeah.
And the thing about it when I was doing this, I love their colors. Their colors are so good,
Yes.
and they're so good together. So this is pumpkin and brick.
Oh.
How many skeins of each?
It took 3 of the brick and 2 of the pumpkin.
Okay.
Which,
that's not bad.
Yeah, not bad. And honestly, the pumpkin, the brick, the second one, I probably could have done with 2 if I had.
Depending on your.
I already had it wound from the sweater I frogged, so that was why I broke into the third
Guess
one.
what? You're gonna get used.
You could do it without that.
Yeah.
But yesterday when I was restocking our Cardo shelf, I was thinking about some other combos that you could do with this.
Yes.
So here, goldenrod and the fjord, I thought would be gorgeous.
Oh, I love
Isn't that so pretty?
Yes.
Goldenrod and fjord. Here,
because you could do it like goldenrod up top if you're like you can wear warm, or like the fjord on top
or
if
even
you're
like that.
cool.
Yep.
Yeah.
And here's the original, the pumpkin and brick. There are such great greens in Cardo too, so spirulina and terrarium would
That's
be really
the one
fun
that I
together.
like, and it's a little bit less contrasty.
Yeah.
Mhm,
You
exactly.
can go hardcore color block or less hardcore.
Yep.
Love that too.
And Cirrus and Galaxy Blue, I thought would be really pretty.
Ooh, pretty.
If you're more of a blue person. And then for those who love neutrals like I do, I think if I were to make this for myself, this is what I would do.
So
This is Putty and Manchester.
I love it.
Aren't they fun? But they they make such good
combos.
good combos, good pairings.
Yeah, they do.
So
I also think that teal. I mean, here's the thing: teal and the acid green.
yeah, that
Love
would
that.
I
Love
kind
that.
of I was looking at that. I'm like,
So
oh, that
tempting.
would work with that. And that would work with
I
that.
was
But
looking at the clay, like this.
yeah, that would be really.
Yeah.
These colors they all play together so well. So we're gonna put up a few combos on the website, and then basically we'll do it for the basic size, and then let you know what to add on if you're making different sizes.
Yep.
It's just easier than just inventory wise to allocate enough for. We'd only have 1 of each size probably if we did it the other way. But and also if it's confusing, just call or email, and we'll be happy to help you.
We can walk you through if you're like, I want something to go with this green, but I'm not sure which. Like,
Yep. Or just
email us
even
or call us
even
when the store is open.
Yes.
Because if you call us when the store is not open,
well, then we'll
You
come
can
back.
leave a message.
we'll call you
We'll
back
come
and
back.
leave a message.
Yep.
But like, we
But
can actually talk to you.
I just thought it was really fun, and kind of getting on the vest bandwagon and everything with Amanda's vest.
It is such a. I know.
It really.
I would probably not do a mock neck. I would do more of a crew.
But that you can make that
I
work.
could do that.
Yeah, definitely,
That's easy.
definitely. So
It's so
I
cute.
just think it's a really cute vest, and it's
I love it.
and definitely, like Amanda was saying earlier, keep your core warm, right?
Uh-huh.
Just it is nice and heavy, but because it doesn't have sleeves, it's not going to be too heavy.
Yeah, you're
Right,
not
and
gonna
I
like
like the way she has it styled in the picture here.
Mhm.
Over a white
Over a t-shirt.
Over a t-shirt.
t-shirt.
Yeah.
A nice white t-shirt. And
Yep.
then
Yeah.
it doesn't matter what the neck of your t-shirt looks like if you keep it a mock neck.
Exactly, for sure.
It's true. So you don't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
That's super cute.
So I have to actually do notes for both of these on Ravelry, which I'm usually good about doing those as I go, but
Yeah.
I don't know what's been my problem lately. I have not been keeping up. I will do that.
Cool.
All right. So that
But now I just remembered I had 2 sweaters last time, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
You finished a lot.
I did finish a lot last
You've
time.
been like cranking through finishing things.
And actually-
so don't feel bad.
I didn't talk about what I'm wearing.
Yes, tell me
So,
about what you're wearing.
What I am wearing is the Avalanche sweater by Heidi Kermeyer, inspired by Jen wearing hers at our Thursday class last week. And I said, you know what? I haven't worn that sweater yet this year,
Oh, wow.
which is crazy. It was just at the bottom of the pile.
Yeah,
It was
sometimes
not-
you just got to rotate through the pile.
Yeah, I know. I get bad. I tend to put the ones that I wear a lot, like, they air out and then they go back on the top of the pile. And
How many times have I worn the Felix and Lucky Tweed? A lot.
A lot?
A lot. It's on top of the pile.
So we have been chatting quite a while, but I'm sure we still have some more whips to talk about.
We
too.
do have some
Whips.
whips.
Yes.
You want to start back with whips, Amanda?
I'll talk about whips.
Yeah.
Yes, we've already talked about what I've been working on.
Mhm.
Let me tell you about this stuff. And I mean, this is not our new in store or anything, but this is a new in my house.
Uh-huh.
New to your house.
I took home, the mini crossbody?
Uh-huh.
Huge.
Well, we did
Yeah,
this
you were
last
trying
time.
to
We did
decide
this
what
last
color.
time as new
We
in
talked
store.
about that, and I took Jen's and Kathleen's advice and got the red one.
It's
me.
so pretty.
Yes, it's so
really
pretty.
nice.
So, I started using this, and so I've been using it for a few days, and so let me tell you about what's in this. I love this so much. I love this bag so much. So it has the 2 pockets. My front pocket now, which opens a long way, so you
Yeah.
can actually
Yeah.
find
You can really
things
get
at the
things.
bottom.
Yep.
That's
Right?
great.
That's great. So this has wallet and keys. Wallet is going to get smaller. That's the whole point. This wallet's going to get smaller.
But it
Um,
still fits the big wallet.
Yes, it fits the big
So
wallet.
many crossbodies do not fit
Yes.
the big wallet.
And on top, it will fit a container of Play-Doh.
If you should need such a thing.
Should you need your emergency Play-Doh?
Yeah. My front pocket has, right now, and this is not a cluttered bag yet because I've only been using it a few days, but it has scissors and needles and darning needle. So I know where those are. I took this to the mall, and I love that I put my phone in the back pocket.
Uh-huh. So
I
it's
can
easy to
fit it on my
access.
back. It's easy to
You can
access.
feel it
And
buzz.
I can feel it buzz. Yes, it is. And nobody's gonna slip it out of a side pocket or a front pocket.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right? Now, let me talk about this back pocket. So this whole vest goes in the back pocket of this bag.
Wow.
So this has been my
That's crazy.
walk around town project because it fits in the back pocket of this bag.
Wow.
No problem. The whole vest, which
That's
is
amazing.
a full skein of sock yarn in a project bag.
A good
And-
size project
yeah.
bag, not just a wee project
And
bag.
this is my second skein of volupte. So
Wow.
yeah, it's like a sizable 3-skein project in the back of this bag. Let me tell you what else fits in the back of this bag. I took the project out to do this, but a full-size Dr. Seuss book will fit in the back of this bag.
Again, should you need such a thing.
Plus, the board books, A Very Busy Spider, and 10 Yellow Ducks.
That's
Wow.
A Kindle.
that's a good size.
That's what went to Mass with us.
Easy to read.
Sorry,
do
priest.
not always fit in a bag.
Yes, it's true.
These are 6x8.
Yeah. So, yeah. Now you know the dimensions of the bag. If you're like, I wonder how big that is. Big enough for a Dr. Seuss standard book.
That's crazy. It doesn't look that big.
I know.
Like in a good way. It's like it looks
doesn't
nice
seem that
and,
big.
But you can jam
Slim
that
and
sucker
portable.
Yes.
full.
So anyway, I was, it was during the trunk show here, and one of our podcast watchers, was asking, because she had seen some of the things we were featuring last week, and I'm like, let me tell you.
My new
about the
favorite
magic
thing.
of this
you want to
bag.
have.
My new favorite thing.
Yeah.
And
And
that
it's,
is handy because then you're like, I don't know, can I fit a Kindle in here? Yes.
oh, yeah. You could fit it. I think you could fit
I think
standard
you could fit an
iPad
iPad in there. Yeah.
Yeah, standard one. Maybe not
Wow.
the iPad Pro.
No, the iPad Pro is huge.
Yeah, it is. And it's under $100. I think it's what, 88?
Great
Yeah,
bag.
something like that.
Great bag.
And it's waxed canvas, so it's already breaking in, but it's just
And I
gonna look
love the way wax canvas looks when it breaks.
So that's what's been going on with this. My Fullerton has been living in my bag and been my travel project,
Nice.
and now I am done with all the decreases on the back.
Yay!
So that's going to make a lot of progress this week. So that is great. That's Fullerton. What else am I working on? Oh my goodness, I'm working on Finish It February.
That's right.
And my big goals for this month's Finish It February were to make material progress on these Pokemon blankets that I started 2.5 years ago.
Well, they were always big
They're
long-term projects.
big
So
projects.
Yes, we knew blankets are not.
2 projects.
They're not a project for the weak, faint of heart.
No.
Although, before I talk about that, Abby has a new project in progress, and I'll let her talk about it.
Oh,
here.
nice. Great.
Hi, my name's Abby, and I'm making a blanket. And the reason I'm making this blanket is because my mom was making a blanket for my brothers, a Pokemon blanket. And she said if I wanted a blanket, I would have to make it. So she started this granny square for me. And she made the magic circle. And then basically what the thing is, the pattern is a 3 double crochets and then a chain. And then for the corners, it is 3 double crochets, a chain, and then 3 more double crochets. And for this yarn, I'm using the Super Yummy King Cole. And I'm using the pink, white, and blue. And yeah, that's my project.
All right, so that's how you do a blanket in less than 2.5 years. She's crocheting a big granny square blanket with the super
yummy.
Super yummy.
We talked about it yesterday.
Yeah. So anyway, that's not going to take 2.5 years. So anyway, look at the progress I've made. I'm so proud of me. So I finished all the stripes of my crochet blanket.
Yay!
Woohoo! All right. Not only have I finished the stripes, I've started the border.
All right.
Yay!
So what did you
Border.
decide to do with the border?
No, I'll tell you. So first of all, let's look at this awesome teddy
Really
blanket.
good, this one, okay.
If he was here, he would start telling. Oh wait, there's a crochet hook in here somewhere.
Speaking of which,
Yay! Pokemon blankets. Teddy loves the Pokemon blanket.
Oh,
So I'm dumping it.
Hey, Mommy.
we got it.
That's okay. I'll get you another one. But do you love the Pokemon blanket? Yay! Pokemon
So
blanket.
pretty.
60 stripes. Each stripe is 3 granny square rows.
wow.
And it goes through the whole Kanto region. Thank you. I'll get you another one in a sec. The whole Kanto region of Pokemon. This is the beginning with your starters. And every gem is represented with 5 Pokemon.
Nice.
Rock, water, grass, poison / ghost, then adventures for Safari Zone.
Hey, Charlie, look.
Yeah, psychic gem, fire, ground, final 4, and the legendary birds plus Mew and Mewtwo. Ta-da! Yay!
Woohoo.
Finished all of the stripes. Woohoo! Thank you, podcast viewers. One of our podcast viewers suggested doing a round of double crochet, then a round of half double crochet.
Yes.
Yes, I saw that.
Yeah, and that got me thinking. And I'm not doing exactly that,
Don't pull too hard, babe.
but it got me thinking, and I was like, do you know what I could do? I could do a round of double crochet in white, a round of single crochet in black, and a round of double crochet in red.
Yes. Yes.
And what does that look like?
Yep. Woohoo.
It looks like a Pokemon!
Pokemon!
Going around the edge.
Careful, Bem.
Going around the edge. So come here, Teds. Thank you. So So that's what I'm doing around the edge. I've finished about half the round of the white. And yay. So I think I will actually be able to finish this. And as I'm going, I'm crocheting over my ends.
Nice.
And then, so one way I'm crocheting them over them, and then I'll just go back and weave them each one direction,
Right.
which I think will be...
That'll be enough.
It'll be better than
Yeah.
better than having to weave all of
This
them.
is going to be a child-used blanket, so I do want it to go the other way too.
Yeah, you need it. You need it sturdy, but I think having multiple ways of weaving it in, is gonna
It'll be fun.
do that. It looks fantastic,
Looks
and
great,
it feels so nice.
And yeah, I figured out I had to do a little bit of finagling on this to figure out the right
Ratio.
ratio. Yeah, but
Yeah.
now I got it. The first time it flared a little bit. Now it's good.
Yeah. That's the nice thing about crochet, though. It's easy to
So easy to adjust.
adjust
Yeah.
it and take it out.
So that was project number 1.
Yay!
I also took a big picture of it all laid out. I will put that in so you can see how it looks all laid out and not me holding it up. So that was number 1. Number 2, I spent hours on Pokemon blankets on Saturday, I think. Oh,
It was your Pokemon day.
yes, because I've also finished all 60 squares.
All right.
Woohoo! I think I finished all 60 last time,
I
but
think you were like on the last one.
Yeah.
or
I think
You
something
were
when
like
you were here.
almost
Yeah.
done with the last one.
but anyway, so I finished all 60 squares, and so then the next project was laying them out.
Yes.
So I had
yes.
60
it is a
squares.
project.
And remember, this one went in the gem order, which was the order that they got shipped in by the
Right.
dyer.
Mhm.
So it was easy to put them in order because it was the order that they got shipped in. Yay!
Yep.
Yeah.
The squares, I was doing them, and the reason I didn't attach as I went was because I was going in Pokédex order, and I didn't know what was going to be the next.
You didn't know the whole scope.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I had to wait for all 60 to come in and then sort them. Well, the reason that I was looking back into old podcasts was Smart Amanda put the tags from each skein and tied them to the squares.
Let me go.
Not as Smart Amanda didn't do that all the time. So there were about 20 that didn't have labels on them. Maybe not 20. Maybe
That's
more
when
like
you're like, I'll remember it.
15
Yeah,
to
right.
17. No, and some of them, like, there was the whole poison gem didn't have any
Didn't have
labels on.
Mm.
Luckily.
Yeah, so I had to go back and look at our old podcast and be like, was it?
What did I call that one?
Well, I had to look when we unboxed them because
Yeah.
go through each
Right,
one
that's
and
right.
find out what colors they were. So I did all that. That took a long time. Put them in order. Now there's 60 squares. What are the dimensions of your blanket with 60 squares?
Yeah. How do you
Right.
figure?
So I laid it out as
Math.
6 by 10,
Okay.
which is quite oblong.
Yeah.
And Chad looked at it. I was like, I need an opinion. Come in and look at this. And you can see it here. I'll put it in. And so he said, well, the boys often like sit on the couch together. So that could work. 'Cause it would cover,
They could be,
two
yeah,
people
use it
nicely.
horizontally.
Yeah.
Right.
But then I was like, I don't know. What about 8 by 8? So then I relayed them out, but 8 by 8 means I'm missing 4 squares.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I laid them out, and I have squares missing in the corners.
Yeah, 4 corners, right?
Right. So I think I'm going to
Like a
do
little sawtooth.
8 by 8. Well, I think
Or
I'm going to
kinda
put.
come up with 4 of the
I'm going
things.
to do either duplicate stitch or Intarsia Pokeballs in the corners.
Yes, perfect.
Or
Oh,
maybe
that's
the
perfect.
maybe the starters do like Intarsia starter Pokemon, like
Yes.
like the sprites.
Yes. Oh my gosh,
So-
you could
So
totally
fun,
do this.
so fun.
Yeah. So I think I'm going to do the starter Pokemon sprites from the original red and blue as
Yes.
the corners plus a Pokeball or something like that. But that is now going to make this a very long-term project.
But you could at
Yeah.
least do the bulk of attaching except for the corners.
Right, which is what I started on also this weekend, because another part of it is I got to figure out how to put these together because they're
Yeah.
not squares,
Right.
they're
right.
kites. So now we get to I need your opinion.
Okay.
So this is a method
Okay.
of putting them together. This is Bulbasaur, Ivysaur. I want to say this is Sandshrew and Raichu.
Can I see?
So
Yes, you
this
have
is number 1. Bulbasaur is 001, right? Ivysaur is 002, in the Pokédex. And you love.
Let me borrow, baby.
And yeah, so one way to do it is to have like the tip of one, right? Go to the tip of the other.
Mm-hmm.
And then these sort of make a square.
Yeah.
But in the center, you can see I've overlapped the tips
Yeah.
so that they
Make more of a square.
Yeah,
so
so it
that
makes
you don't
more of a
get
square.
the
Yeah.
points.
But
And then you can block that flat.
that's my question. Do you think it's blockable?
So if you see it from the side, it kind of
It has a
has a third dimension.
right. Yeah. So I blocked these before I seamed them. Always a
little-
good idea.
Little.
Yes, definitely.
So
Which I did not do with the project I'm working
yeah,
on.
see, it has like this little. It has a little.
Is that a little Pokemon blanket?
Yeah, there's extra fabric here a little bit.
But I
So-
think,
I don't know how much I care.
how much do you
Yeah,
care? Because this is
yeah.
the thing. Like, it's going to get yanked and pulled and worn. I think it makes a really cool
Yeah, it's
little
sort of like,
shape.
yeah, it's sort of like a twisty.
It's like a swirl.
Yeah,
it's sort of swirl in the middle.
Like a little
Yep.
diagonal. Watch out
Um,
for the needle, sweetie.
And this way, right? Once you do 4, the next it'll go nicely with the next 2,
Yeah.
and then this will have the swirl with the one
Down
underneath
there.
it. Yeah.
I think this would be good. And you know what I would try? Because you've already blocked it, right?
Mhm.
Just lay it flat and hit it with a steam iron and smush it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
and when I
basically
say
like-
hit, whenever I say hit anything with a steam iron, I don't mean actually iron
On
it.
top
I
of
mean
it. Yeah.
have
Steam
a
above.
couple of inches and go do the steam
Yeah.
like.
Oh, that's what happened to the tail of the cat, by the way.
Oh.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, that's so funny. I thought it was just like kind of
No.
Wear
too
and
long,
tear.
loosey goosey.
Got swung around.
That's so funny.
Teddy, watch out! Come here. You're gonna
Whoa.
run into the camera.
my body.
So one
Or go
question:
that way.
what are the dimensions of the squares?
I do not know.
Stitches.
Oh, I cast on 71.
Okay.
So that means 35, 35, and a center double decrease.
Decrease.
Yeah. So my first row, I would just like knit back and forth across all 70 stitches. The second knit row, I'd knit 34, center double decrease, 34.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then back all the way across, then 33, center double decrease, 33.
Did
And
you
be-
try to block them square
They won't block square.
No,
or
they are
even
tight.
rectangular?
No.
They won't block square because it's stockinette. So
Yeah.
when you're doing a mitered square in garter stitch,
Yeah.
and you do that exact same thing, you will get a square because of the proportions of garter stitch.
Right.
But in stockinette,
Yeah.
because stockinette is not proportional,
Right.
you're
The
never going
stitches
to
are
get.
wider than they were tall.
You're never going to
Yeah.
get.
No, they're taller than
They're
they're
taller
wide.
than they are.
Right.
That's why it like skews
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
way.
Yeah. You're never going to be able to block a stockinette square. Seed stitch and garter stitch, yes.
But I took your feedback that if I tried to like crochet around them and make them squares, I would make myself miserable.
Yeah. Yeah.
Could you be compensating at all point? Like that would.
Yeah.
I like that, and I think that will 100% lay
Yeah, but I do like
because it's like easing a
the
shoulder.
stockinette.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it shows the colors of the hand dye
Yes,
like
exactly.
really well, which
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
the reason I put it in stockinette, even though I knew it was going to skew.
You made a conscious choice to do it. This is the thing. This is not a mistake.
It's not a
by
mistake.
any means. This is a style decision, and
Now I have
this
to.
is a style decision.
Yeah, I have to figure out how to compensate for what the stitch is, but this is the stitch I wanted for sure.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be cool.
I think it's going to be cool. I like that center
Nipple?
swirly thing.
Yeah.
it really
That's what I
is.
like.
I think it's kind of fun.
It totally is because you're like, hey, this would make a nice short row little like boob coat.
It would. Now you know. You just need a mitered square.
You just need a mitered square. You can assemble a mitered square thing, and then shoulder.
There you go.
Hip.
Just like
All right,
Do it.
so we're just going to block them.
Yep.
Are you going to do a border on that too at the end, or no?
Certainly, yeah. Definitely.
This was the one you were thinking about getting yarn from Lauren, right?
Yes, to seam them together. So
Oh, seaming. Right.
which we will also talk about in a minute. Lauren from Color Wheel Yarns came. So I used here, which is what I'm using on the crochet border.
Mhm.
I wanted to test this out. So I used the white Barocco.
Mhm.
Pure
Ultra
ultra
wool.
wool. I want to say pure wool.
Uh-huh.
Ultra wool. DK, which is superwash 100% wool. And it's great, especially for things like crochet borders where you want clear colors of white, red, and black.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's also great for seaming where you're not going to see anything, but it is 100% wool. And
Oh, right.
right,
That's what we
and
talked
like
about, yeah.
I know that I can break it like that.
Yeah.
I've seamed multiple blankets. You remember when I did the Germantown blanket?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
I seamed it with Germantown, which is,
100%
it's not
wool.
superwash, but it's 100% wool. And the kids broke through the seams in like a month and a half.
Yeah. The strength of the nylon definitely makes a difference.
Yes. So Lauren was here. We will talk about her superwash nylon DK.
Mm-hmm.
So hers is wool plus nylon, which would be stronger. It could withstand the force of little boys. And that's what I'm going to actually use to seam the blanket. I'm going to get some, it doesn't like, if
Color
you're
doesn't matter.
mattress stitching,
Yeah.
you can't see the
It should
seams, so
disappear.
it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to get some undyed stock from her,
Mm-hmm.
and seam this up with her yarn. Yeah. And then I think I might pick up a knit around the whole blanket, which is going to be a pain in the booty.
Mm.
Yes.
But still, it would look
But
so
I
nice.
really like a garter stitch. I think a garter
Mhm.
stitch edge would
With like mitered corners.
Yes,
would
exactly.
look really nice.
That's what I'm thinking I'm going to do for the edge.
Yeah.
But that's a long time in the future. Yay. Okay. Oh,
Yay!
Teddy has been
Teddy has been picked up.
picked up by his au pair. Yay.
Yay!
And is going home to complete his blue sleeve. We were saying earlier, we love it when Teddy's here, but a new 3-year-old, you saw him turn 3 on Vlogmas.
That's
Yeah.
right. First day of
Yeah.
Vlogmas.
Yeah.
First day of Vlogmas. So he's a very young 3.
Yeah.
And
It's so sweet.
He
I mean,
is such a sweetheart.
listen,
Such a
taking
sweetheart.
turns while we talk about our whips and finished objects are real
it's a hard
challenges.
concept.
I'll say it on camera. I was saying he is not a sociopath like most 3-year-olds. And this is the thing. That is 100% developmentally appropriate for toddlers. They are sociopaths. They are the definition of a sociopath. And then
Yeah.
They
they
think about themselves.
grow out of
Only.
it.
Right.
Only.
Don't recognize
With support.
anybody else's
Right.
emotions.
And that is developmentally appropriate. for
Yeah,
a
you have to
3-year-old.
go through that stage.
I will
Exactly.
say,
The sooner you recognize that they're sociopaths, the better off
The
you
easier your life
Yes.
will be.
I will say, like, Teddy has a hard time listening to other people's whips and finished objects. Sometimes, a knitting circle, people have a hard time listening to other people's
That's
finished objects.
so true. That's so true. Even
Yay.
adults, exactly.
are. Even adults have hard times
Real
sometimes.
But that's okay. So this is my finish it February projects. I committed to, if you remember, having a plan for this blanket. All the projects, all the squares finished, and having a
Yep.
plan
Check it off.
Yes.
done. So now I have a plan. And then for the crochet blanket, my goal is to finish it. So that is well on its way. I have, like I said, I've finished 2 sides of white,
Mm-hmm.
and that means I have 2.5 more rounds to go.
Mm-hmm.
That's not bad at all.
Right? 2.5
Yeah,
more
yeah.
rounds. I can finish this blanket in February, and I get my pink striped lobby and a Maybach bag.
Yay.
Well, and also that's a good. You're now at the point with that it's a good like, video call kind
Oh,
of project, meeting
yeah.
project, or like watching Beth play video games or
Oh,
something
certainly.
like that, right? Like where it
Yeah,
doesn't
it's
require a lot of
autopilot
thinking.
kind of.
You're just going.
Well, my other little finished this week was I put my Hooked on Grannies back upstairs in the TV room,
Woohoo!
and I finished Claire.
It's
Oh,
back in
nice.
rotation.
Yes, it is. So yeah, now this was my while I watched Beth play video games. Claire, I had started back when we were doing Hooked on Grannies, but I think I'd only gotten to like this middle flower done, and that's it. So I finished the rest of this square. This is now square number 18 out of 25 finished.
Nice.
So
Well done.
yeah, I like putting like longer term, hard to carry around projects,
Mm-hmm.
but ones that I can do while I watch games or TV or whatever.
Yeah.
In the TV room.
Yep.
So then it's just there, and I can pick it up and continue it.
You don't have to get up to get it. You can just
Yeah.
be like,
Yeah.
I am sitting,
Right
and
there.
perhaps I would like a blanket on my lap that I am working on.
Yeah, well, this one isn't quite because it's square.
Yeah.
But
Yet.
right. But those next 7 are going to knock out real fast.
Yeah.
I have 19 and 20 have already started, and then
Cool.
I just have 5 more to do. So,
Nice.
yay. These will be a slow progress, but I was happy to have a little progress on that whip. Next week, next podcast, not next week, next episode, I will show you the very, very baby beginnings of my next extremely long-term whip. But I'm not doing that this week.
Oh,
It's a good tease.
Yeah.
It's a good tease. Okay, so I'll go to my whips. I really only have technically 2, but really it's just 1. These are another pair of socks, and they are, I have to pull up the pattern. Oh my gosh, phone open. There we go. Winter's Frost by This Handmade Life. And these are, I wanted to use, this is another, this is from Knit Circus. Ooh, going back to the circus.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
This yarn is Knit Circus, and it is Wild Rumpus Impressionist Gradients.
Wow.
They basically, a number of years ago, and I would say at this point, probably 9 years ago, they did a Where the Wild Things Are thing.
Yeah.
And I used this, the sock tube that I made socks for me and Ollie out of is also, it was like a Wild Rumpus variegated.
Yes.
Right, so it had the greens and the blues of Maurice Sendak's Where the Wild Things Are. And so this is a cashmerino base, and this is their impressionist gradient. So it goes from, actually I'll show it on the finished sock. It goes from greens to blues, and the blues
Nice.
get a little bit darker, but I didn't get that far. And this is Winter's Frost by This Handmade Life, which has a little bit of lace going down the side.
Oh, nice.
And so this is the left sock, so it goes down like a clock, like the clock detailing on a sock. Goes down the left outer ankle, and then I'm working on the right one. And this worked up shockingly quick because I was like, I needed something to do before starting the sweater for my sweater class, which is coming up.
Yes.
And I was like, oh, let's do a sock. Oh, let's do this. Blah, blah, blah. I finished this we had a long weekend this week because of President's Day. So I started this on Saturday and I finished it on Sunday.
Wow.
And I think
That's
it's because
fast.
the lace isn't all across the whole thing.
Yes. When you just got the one little section.
And it's a
faster.
four row repeat, and it was easy to remember.
That's good.
And I did my standard eye of partridge with a garter edge. I do the first 3 and the last 3 stitches in garter. I slip the first stitch of each row, and I do eye of partridge. I do my standard heel turn. Basically work to 2 stitches past the center and then turn your heel. And then I did an interesting, this is a double gusset on the bottom, which I might ask you to go and show.
It's pretty. Yeah.
It's really pretty. And I can pull up where the double gusset is from. So essentially, instead of normally you do a gusset with the triangles on either side, right? And you decrease down. In this case, what you do is you pick up all of the stitches around, and then you decrease on the bottom of the foot once until you have basically 4 stitches left of, like, it's essentially the heel stitches that are left. You don't touch the gusset stitches. You do the heel stitches and you decrease down there, and then you decrease on the outside again. So you have 2 decrease rounds, 2 little V's, and it's essentially on the bottom of the foot. And it's really pretty, and it fits really nicely.
Yeah.
And just something a little different.
And was it in this pattern or you added it?
It's not in this pattern. You can add it to any pattern that you want. If you take it up, I'll pull up the pattern. I believe it's a double gusset heel step-by-step tutorial by pattern makers. Please put your names on the pattern themselves. Because
first page is especially handy. Right.
Christy H. Payne. It's a basic sock with a double gusset heel by Christy, Christi H. Payne. I believe it is paid. It is well worth the payment. I think it's like $5. It's just really it's a really nice, really thoughtful, interesting interesting variant of like just a standard heel.
Cool.
She has a couple of other socks as well that have interesting construction, but you just do your standard. It works with a heel flap heel. It doesn't work with anything that doesn't have that what do you call it? Heel turn.
Cool.
And then my other project is buried in here, and it's my swatch for my sweater class.
Oh, yes.
So I am going to be using La Bien-Aimée Helix in
Nice.
Sansa with LBA Silk Mohair in Springtime at Yarnia.
Oh.
And so I did my gauge
So
swatch.
pretty.
I have to measure it, then I need to wash it, and then I need to measure it again.
That's so cool.
So if you're taking
looks
the
really
class,
And are you doing champagne or Eva or a mashup?
I am doing the Eva cardigan, but
Mhm.
I will be doing a double knit vertical button band.
Cool.
So you're taking one of
So using that one feature of the
I'm
champagne.
using that
but-
one feature
but adding
of the
to Eva.
champagne. Yes.
Cool. Nice.
So that's what I'm gonna do. And I'm just looking and see. Oh, actually, I lied. The basic sock with a double gusset heel is free.
Oh, nice. Mhm.
Put it in your library today.
Put it in your
Yeah.
library. Highly recommend it. I'm gonna send it to Amanda now while we're talking about Kathleen.
Yeah, because otherwise I have to search for it.
Otherwise, she's gonna text me in like 5 days and be like,
What was the name of that thing?
"Where's the link?" So, Kathleen, what are your whips?
So my whips, my big finish in February commitment was to finish my, and this is so annoying. Is it Ariane or Ariana cardigan?
Ariana.
It's Ariana.
And it's
Yep.
not. It's just Ariana.
Mm-hmm.
Ariana.
Right. So
Like Vanderpump Rules.
I have the
Oh,
first couple
my
of rows
goodness.
together,
I
And-
love it.
and actually, I do remember now. It's almost a whole week ago. I did this before knit night. Or I did this like Sunday, Monday. Actually, I started working on this during the Super Bowl after I finished the Dumpling Kitty. It all comes back to me.
So cool, right?
Isn't it so fun?
I love
So it took me and obviously not working on them nearly full time, but like I did the squares over about a year.
Mhm.
I did all of the black in 2 days.
Wow.
It's so
What?
much faster because
You're
you're joining
go.
as you go.
So
like
basically
once I
you're
had all the
doing-
components, you just never break your yarn. And literally I had to
Just doing
come
2 in
come
1.
to the store last Tuesday when it was closed and get more. Oh, that was when I had to get more yarn because I had picked up night instead of black. Black
There are
has
2
white
colors that
flecks.
are similar.
They're so the newer night is so dark, it's almost black.
Yeah.
The difference is the flecks are dark blue, where black the flecks are white.
Yeah.
And literally, I didn't notice it until I was about to start crocheting with
That's
it.
when you're like, I'm
was
grabbing
like,
the darkest
oh.
one.
And that was the day it snowed too. So like I had to wait till Jean dug the cars out, and then we came over and I got my
You're like,
yarn.
Jean, go walk to the store.
So I
So this is this the bottom?
this is the bottom. Yep.
Okay.
So the very
So we
corners are quarter triangles. Across the bottom, you've got half triangles.
Yep.
And I am still committed to finishing this in the next 9 days.
I feel like you can
Because
absolutely bang
February
this out.
an extra day this year,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Leap year, so
It's true.
we get that extra day. But not only has it been fast, it has been so fun. I've really just enjoyed like the joining.
Well,
And
it's satisfying because
I
you go
joined
from a pile
these
to a
3 while we've been
thing.
sitting here in the last little bit.
So
like
quick.
you just once it for me it did take a little while to kind of get the flow of it when I was starting. But now that I know it, I'm not even referring to the pattern anymore. And my one square that I had already done that was complete. So basically, you're working with your like 5. Well, mine are 5 round squares. I don't even know what the pattern says anymore because do I ever do anything exactly as written? Of course I don't. But so you're adding your last round by joining as you go. But I did one to make sure I liked the black as the edge. So I added that one in early. So I just single crocheted in, or not even, I just like slip stitched and chained together to get that one in place.
Yeah.
In the middle of the back. And now I am going to actually have to go home and look at the diagram again because
You're about to like sleeve place, right?
exactly. I'm pretty close. So I will do that.
That's awesome.
But
Yeah.
it's been so fun, and this has been like one and just a bit of the black. I do have another. I've got what's left of this, which is probably at least 2/3 of a ball.
Yeah, I'd say.
And I have another whole one that's not wound yet.
Now, does it have button bands?
It does. So what I do need to do is pick up and knit button bands and cuffs.
Okay.
But that still shouldn't be that bad. I mean, it's basically an Aran weight yarn. It's not.
Those will go so quickly.
They'll go really quick. So, and then I have to decide on buttons, but I will do that. That's not a problem.
Nice.
But I'm so excited. So yes, I'm really planning on finishing this in February. So I should have it next episode.
Finish it February.
But
all the grading things.
all the grading things,
All
exactly.
grading things.
And then the other thing I've been working on, because I find I almost get like itchy when I don't have a sweater, because I love to work on sweaters. I started swatching
Addictive.
earlier in this episode for my favorite things, sweater number 9 with loft.
Oh,
So
that's going to be so nice.
that is going to be a much better choice.
Yes.
So I kind of got this far. I think actually my gauge might be too dense. I was going to print out the pattern again when I got here this morning, and I couldn't find it on my computer, so I didn't. But I will find it, and because I know I bought it. I mean,
obviously.
I already started.
You already started it.
So
Yeah.
So anyway, I need to really see what
I think the
the
loft
gauge
is
should
going to
be.
be beautiful.
The loft. It's going to be a nice light lofty sweater, which is what it's meant to be.
Yeah.
It's what it's meant to
Airy.
be. So I'm excited about that.
I love it.
Yeah. So
That's awesome.
those are my 2 main whips at this point. And I think I will probably get back to my Battenberg blanket once the area and cardigan is done.
Well, it'll fill that crochet slot.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I have been doing a lot of crochet lately.
Yeah,
I
I
really,
know.
really have. But, whatever. I do like both. But,
But it's good.
I've got to look through my whips. I'm going to Las Vegas on Sunday.
Oh,
Uh-huh.
you need a travel whip.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
really need one.
yeah.
Socks are always good.
Sorry, I still have not found the first sock.
No.
That pair.
Oh, no.
No.
The springtime at Yarnia pair.
Uh,
So silly. I might just knit a third sock.
maybe. You still have the yarn?
Yes, but I don't have enough for a whole sock, so I'll have to borrow somebody's leftover springing springtime.
I'm sure I have some somewhere.
I
I have a tube that I can frog for you. I
Oh.
have, like, the rest of... Because I have...
You don't even have to frog it.
Yeah.
I
Just
don't
knit from the
Okay.
tube.
Yeah.
Because I have
That's what's
2
easier.
that I have, like, to do, like, one more heel or toe or something, and then it's...
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no, I need to add heels, but the tube part, I think, is done, so I will look for that.
Now you can do it with the
I can do it with the
class.
class. Maybe
I know.
I'll do that. Maybe I'll do that. I'll
I actually-
let Jen talk me through doing my heels.
I plan to do. I do have tubes for Beth that I plan to do, but that's not enough to go to Vegas and back.
No, because
Yeah,
the tubes
definitely.
will take. You could do the sock heels and
I know.
toes
I'd be
on
done.
the flight.
Yeah, exactly.
I'd be bored.
Yeah.
So just remembering also, Joanna is going to come in and do shipping
Yeah.
possibly in a half hour. So we
Okay.
probably need to start
Well,
thinking about it.
We're on our way. We
I
should.
did remember one real quick around town.
Oh yeah.
So February was finished at February.
Yep.
Right? In March, Helen Stewart is releasing a new shawl, Mr. Knit Along.
That's up
So,
your alley.
That's going to
Definitely.
be definitely my new cast on. If you're also doing that one, let me know if you're interested. I think she'll be releasing colors like this week.
Okay.
So we might have some color suggestions
Mm-hmm.
Well, this
by next
could
week.
run into a little bit of, we were talking about, not that any of these are super shawl weight for
Right.
Helen Stewart, but like what we've had in front of us
Mm-hmm.
is the
Yes.
yarns that we have hung on to from Color Wheel,
Mm-hmm.
including DK weight sock
Yes.
yarn, because we have a DK weight sock class coming up. So if you have never knit socks before, DK weight socks are awesome because they're good boot socks. They're good like sleep socks. They're good
Yeah.
hanging around the house socks.
Definitely.
And I am pulling up when it is because I did that before.
Here's some cheap weight.
Sorry, I was just trying to look something up. It
Okay.
didn't start on its own.
At night. First you'll know.
What the heck?
So
You can also use DK weight socks to stay warm at night. That's
yes, you can use DK
Yes.
weight socks to stay warm at night. So Stacia's DK weight sock class, which is a great first sock class, is beginning April 10th. It is on what days? What day is April 10th? It's the morning. It's in the mornings. I don't know what day April 10th is because I'm.
I can tell you in a
Sunday.
moment.
April 1st is a Monday. So the 9th is a Monday and the 10th is a Tuesday. Does that make sense?
10th is a Wednesday.
Wednesday. It's a Wednesday
Okay.
morning class. So if you are interested,
Which makes sense because Stacia's here on Wednesdays.
yes. So it's a Learn to Knit Socks class, and she's going to be doing it in DK weight yarn, which means that you are not going to be working on the tiniest of needles and freaking yourself out by doing something that's such a small gauge on a small circumference. It's a great way to
And plus it'll go
learn
faster.
the basics, and it goes fast, so you'll be able to knock out too. And then we hung on to some of Color Wheel Yarn's DK weight sock yarn, and what makes this a sock yarn is that it is 75% superwash merino and 25% nylon.
Yep.
Yes.
Talking about the strength with
Pokemon blanket.
Pokemon blanket,
Kids.
you want nylon is great. It'll make up for a hard wearing sock. These are gorgeous colors.
Yep. They are gorgeous colors.
I
They're
love her colors.
tonals,
Yeah.
and you can see what your stitches are doing, so
Yeah.
you'll be able to find out.
I was
You
telling
could
Kathleen
also
I
be-
did get the dark purple just because I love it.
I love
Yeah,
the dark
yeah.
purple. I think you could still see your stitches in that.
It would be hard.
It's
But
bigger,
no, but sometimes
But if you love it,
if you love it, or especially like if you want guy socks, a lot of times guys don't like the brighter socks.
yes.
Sometimes they do, but not
That's a
always.
So we have the Color Wheel sock yarn. You could also use Tosh DK, which does not have nylon in
Right.
it, or knitted with DK, or if we have any spun right round DK. Those are all also totally feasible.
but
the
they don't
knitted
have
wood
nylon.
especially is pretty high twist. So that's
Yeah,
really,
those all
really
have
good
high
for-
twist, which helps with strength. But
Mhm.
the Color Wheel has both high twist and nylon.
Yeah.
Yes.
So for the first month that we have these are going to be reserve for
Yes.
For the class.
For the class.
For the class.
participants. And for most of the colors, I did get 2. So,
Mm-hmm.
like I was talking to Lauren, she can get a pair of socks out of 1 skein for her. But if you
But she has petite
she
feet.
has petite feet.
Yeah.
So if you have a larger foot or if you prefer a taller sock,
Yes.
right, like I love a taller sock, I might
Same.
grab 2 skeins. So we have a lot of options that have
Yeah.
2 skeins of the same color.
Or if you wanted to grab 2 skeins and do contrast heels, toes,
That's-
cuffs.
Yes, exactly.
And then do the other sock in the reverse.
Yeah.
That way you'll have both.
Yeah.
So you can
Or you can
mix
probably
and
make them
match.
matching if you just have like enough of that extra for heels.
Yeah.
Heels toes and cuffs use a lot of yarn.
It does use a lot of yarn. It's more than you think of the sock.
Mm-hmm.
So these are floating around. For
They-
our
Oh,
DK
they'll
sock
be in
class.
store for
They'll be in
for
store.
the sock.
For the
Class
sock class,
participants
and then they
until-
will be online
I'm
whatever is
piling.
left.
I got it all.
Yay.
But if you're interested in Seisha's class, that now we have something in the store
Yes.
Yes.
to work with on that.
And you can sign up. It's an in-person class. You can sign up online. Go to shopyarnia.com. The other stuff that we hung on to from Color Wheel,
Yes.
But literally,
wouldn't literally, is the Fall at Yarnia sock sets,
Love those.
which is a skein of Fall at Yarnia on her sock base, as well as 3 mini skeins.
yes.
Representing Amanda, me, and Jen.
Yay, so
How
I'm going to bring those up.
They're so
you
pretty.
can
You guys
see
show
them.
this.
Fall at Yarnia, when we do, we have a little bit more of our Color Wheel and
We got
Sugarbush
some
Bold
Yeah.
collaboration. So it's the worst we have back in this color. Is this the first time we've had it on sock?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really like
So yeah. So this is the first time we've had that Fall at Yarnia on the sock base, and then these are the 3 accent colors that come with it. And I'm definitely taking one of those.
Oh,
I'm gonna get one too.
I picked one up
Well,
yesterday.
They're so fun.
No,
I'm
Sunday.
thinking
Sunday.
about
During the trunk.
making
junction.
a musselburgh with that, with
Yeah.
stripes. Wouldn't it be cute to do?
Have you
Little stripes.
seen January ones?
Yes.
Musselburgh, the
Yes.
color work ones.
Oh,
Oh, that would be fun
What?
actually to do like alternate stripes with these. Oh, I
To the
hadn't even thought about that.
helical.
Yes,
She did a heel. She did. Go look at January one's Instagram.
she's been all
Link it
about
below.
musselburghs lately.
Kara. She's done Musselburgh. I don't know how to pronounce it. I don't know.
In Scotland, they say musselburgh.
Musselburgh.
It's an area
Musselburgh.
like Edinburgh.
Like
If you-
Edinburgh.
If you say
Right.
Edinburgh,
Okay,
yeah,
so
which I
musselburgh.
know we've
Oh,
been late on that, but
Whatever. I'm
anyway.
from Jersey, as in New Jersey.
Wow.
But she did colorwork ones, and then she also did helical stripe ones. Love a helical stripe.
yeah.
Love it. So cute. But
So
that
pretty.
would be fantastic.
That would be so fun.
I love that.
I might have to do that.
I love that.
Because we all know how much I don't wear socks.
I'm making socks.
It was
I think I'm going to
20-something.
make socks too.
It was
Guess what?
20-something degrees outside. Do I have any socks on? No. Look at
Oh,
those
yeah.
bare feet.
I do. I've got Tosh socks. Kate Etherly.
I love
Basic rib
Basic
sock.
Basic rib sock.
Yeah.
It's a good. It's a good sock.
Yeah.
Oh, and we also have. We mentioned this. I think quickly before we grabbed some of the Surrey,
Yes.
which is 74% baby Surrey alpaca and 26% mulberry silk.
And we haven't had any Surrey.
No,
we
I haven't.
haven't, and it's so pretty.
It is super pretty.
And they're keeping it down there so it doesn't make me sneeze.
Yes,
also.
we're keeping it to our side. But this would be fantastic for Amanda's vest, or if you're,
Yep.
if you're not a mohair person and you want to try a floofy,
Yep.
something
You
or
can
other.
do alpaca.
Yeah.
Or, do you know what? I saw all of Color Wheel's yarns out on the table, and I was like, oh my goodness, if you got Amy's neons and neutrals, right?
Yeah.
Mm.
This is sort of what you need.
Yes.
There was, we
This
had a
is
customer, and right now, if you're looking for Kelborn Scout, we have good stock of a lot of colors,
Yes.
but the supplier is out until the end of, the beginning of
April or
April
something?
at
Yeah.
least.
So they're waiting for their shipment
yes,
from
so-
the mills.
Exactly. So they had the chestnut heather in the Scout,
Uh-huh.
Chestnut heather.
and they were thinking of putting the coral heather with it. We only have 2 skeins left of coral heather, and it's 2 distinctly different dye lots.
Okay.
And sometimes that works in a color work, and it'll be fine.
Yeah, it depends on how it's
But I
broken
took
up.
a look at the color work, and
The pattern she was going
it
to
would
do.
not work.
Uh-huh.
You would
Yeah.
see the difference. So I said, why don't you take a look at Lauren's yarns?
Yes.
So she's actually putting this, the
the
candy, with
Yeah, that would be so
the
gorgeous.
chestnut Scout
That would be
and a color work sweater.
beautiful.
Total
It's
neons and
spectacular.
neutrals. Yeah.
It's spectacular.
Love it.
That is
So-
beautiful.
It is lovely, and I'm sort of jealous of that, but I cannot cast on another sweater right now because I have yarn for a man sweater coming.
Sometimes
That's very soon, actually.
Very
It'll be
soon.
here in a couple of days.
Oh, great. So I'll have another long-term project. I have 2 long-term projects.
it'll go from finish it February to start at March.
Actually, I was thinking of making it mend at March because I've got.
I love Amended March.
Yeah, I have some socks to do, and I have a sweater that I need to embroider on. So I might do that live stream that I was thinking of.
Oh, right.
That's a
yeah.
great idea.
And amend at March.
Don't we have more copies of the embroidery on?
Yes,
We do. We
yes,
gotta
yeah,
restock.
Yeah, that's what I was going to take.
Oh, yeah.
One of the motifs from that.
Yeah.
Embroider it on the
That's
sweater.
such a good book.
And actually, we also got
Oh,
Right.
The
Line
brand new.
52 Weeks of Accessories.
I was
yes.
looking
So-
through that on Sunday too.
Yeah, so fun.
Really pretty. I love those mittens on the cover. Are
Yeah.
Right.
gorgeous. In that blue and white. Love it.
Mhm. Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah,
That's a
there's-
really great-
It's a really diverse book too. I mean, there's
Mhm.
intricate patterns. There are simple patterns. So,
Mhm.
like, if you like knitting accessories, or you don't want to have to think about it too much, you want to make sure you've got like a
Like a
go-to
smallish-
accessory book that is well written, stylish, and
Yeah.
edited nicely.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful. Great. They are great coffee table books.
They
Honestly,
really are.
if you just want to look through for like
Inspiration.
for beauty, honestly, the
Great.
photography is always gorgeous.
I really do like how they put together the 52 weeks books where there is a wide variety
Yeah,
of like
exactly.
it's not just easy, it's not just hard. There's a little something for everyone, and
Yeah.
also like if you work through the book,
Yeah, as you develop your skills,
Right.
what might have been too challenging early on
Right.
becomes more approachable
you can
later.
be like, well, maybe I'll start with this easy mittens, or I'll start with the 52 weeks of socks. I'll start with the simple ones, and then I'll
Yeah.
work my way up to
Yep.
whatever.
It might be a long time to get through 52 weeks of, or 52 sock patterns, but 52 accessory patterns, like,
I mean, mittens go quick. Hats.
well, or not even like that. They're so diverse. Like,
Yeah,
you
they're
can
so-
use. I
Mhm.
can use 52 accessories.
I mean, the other thing that is
I mean, I
so
could probably
cool
do for-
when
I
you
could use 52 socks too.
when you think about it is, even though the books are like $50 basically, that's less than $1 a pattern.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is amazing.
It's
And
actually a
because
More
they
hard coverage.
are
Beautiful books.
They are, the quality line of patterns. So,
I appreciate that.
We are back.
This is going to be a lot of editing for Amanda. Sorry.
That's okay.
A lot of editing.
This week I'm good.
Maybe a new record for longest episode, quite possibly.
I mean, not necessarily, because we did
the last ones have
stop
been
and
pretty good.
we had a couple of breaks,
I know,
and we just
but-
had to have like a bio break.
But
a
I
little.
also I think this is going to see.
We'll
2.5 hours.
see.
I don't know. I mean, the last one was over
Please,
2.5 when we started it.
Well, it was 2:22, right? That was the
That
final.
was after cuts.
I know,
It was
but I
after
don't.
cuts?
There's not as much to cut on this one.
We'll see.
God,
There's a lot
we're
of cuts.
chatty.
We are so chatty.
Anyway,
Y'all are patient. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for listening.
Or
So
watching us on 2-speed, in which case, like,
I like. Well, it's funny. I definitely do different speeds depending on like where the people, like what part of the country people are from.
Yes.
Yeah, but
We already talked fast. Sorry.
we already
We're
do
just
talk
we
fast.
talk a lot.
but
I
I will be editing this with children, so the same like vibe that was coming around.
We'll be
Uh-huh.
During this?
We'll
We'll be during the editing
we'll be
process
going
as
on.
well.
So.
Yes.
So the first thing we should do is talk about what our last episode question and prize was.
Yes.
And I was so happy to see there was like excitement's not the right word, but
Passion.
passion. Exactly. There you go. There was so much passion behind those answers. And
Emphatic.
exactly. The other thing that I love and is so interesting is that what was on some people's absolute hate was also other people's absolute love.
Oh my gosh, totally.
Which is the way people are, right?
Right.
Like that's us humans. That's the way things go, which
Well-
is good. That's what makes things interesting.
Our question last time was household tasks you secretly love.
What is the household task you secretly love and secretly hate?
You guys,
That
Or
should
maybe not so
totally
secretly.
Be a Tinder question,
right?
Yes,
Like-
yes.
right?
Sort people out.
Because then you can be like,
Absolutely.
I do love vacuuming, and
Uh-huh.
you hate vacuuming. That's a good match.
I don't care if you like long walks on beaches. I want to
No.
know, do you like washing cups?
Will you?
Do you do laundry? Will you do laundry?
Will you do laundry?
And
Will you fold laundry?
it's so many people. Haley hates to fold laundry too, and like
I hate it.
that's see
I don't mind it.
I will fold laundry all day. There's something very satisfying about folding laundry to
God,
me.
it drives me nuts. I
Yeah.
mean, I
I even fold Haley's laundry voluntarily. Like she's like, you don't need to fold it. I'm like, I want to fold it.
like my laundry folded nicely, and
Uh-huh.
I fold my laundry the way that I want it to be
Uh-huh.
folded, but
Uh-huh.
I hate doing it.
Wow.
Oh.
And it makes
I
me
love it.
crazy if somebody does it and does it wrong.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. I no longer correct Gene when he does it wrong. I appreciate that he's doing it because it's just a time thing.
Oh, I correct.
But yeah, if Haley and I are hanging out and chatting, I will fold her laundry while we chat.
Yes.
So
I absolutely correct.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you're doing this on.
no, I'm right.
I don't correct. I'll just like subtly redo.
Yeah, certain
Oh.
things I redo.
Oh, I won't subtly redo because how will you learn?
Yeah. Oh, but Gene doesn't learn, so that's the other reason
You know
I
what
don't.
we've talked about? Old dog.
This is also why
folds
I do
jeans
my
so
own.
weirdly. I'm like, people don't do pleats and jeans, Gene.
No, we don't do
He
this.
folds them like for pleats.
Oh yeah, that's.
I don't know.
No,
I know.
people don't
I
do
know.
that.
It's fine. Because
Yeah,
you know why
no.
he wears khakis all the time, and
That's
he does have pleats in his khakis.
Yeah.
He folds everything like the khakis.
Jonathan does his laundry. I do my laundry.
Yeah. I used to do most
Never
of
the
the
twain shall
laundry.
meet. 'cause
I
he
used to
does
do
the
most of the
soft
laundry,
stuff.
and I didn't care. And we have migrated over the last few years to Gene doing more. As I've
Yeah.
spent more time on Yarnia, he spends more time on laundry,
Good.
which has been good for everybody.
Good.
No,
That's a
it's
fair
true.
share.
It's like, hey, I do all the food stuff in the house. He doesn't have to
No.
think about it.
Who's
So-
our winner?
Here we are rehashing.
We're
it again.
rehashing. last
Sorry,
time.
but obviously
we'll continue on.
we-
It'll end up being like 3 hours.
We
Sorry.
enjoyed the question. We enjoyed all of your responses. But we didn't really say necessarily all of our things, did we?
I did.
I don't remember.
I think you didn't.
I don't think I did.
You
So,
Yes, you
so,
should say yours.
one, and there's this, my thing is I always have caveats, right? Like there's never an easy answer. There's always a
There's
caveat.
never a yes or no. It's both.
When I have a dishwasher, so when I'm in a place without a dishwasher, washing dishes doesn't bother me.
Mm-hmm.
If I had to wash them every day, it would very definitely bother me.
Yes.
But it's almost sort of soothing in a way when you do it like every now and then.
Yeah.
So I don't hate dishwashing if it's not an everyday thing. I love to fold laundry. I love grocery shopping,
Oh.
which I feel like I don't know that anyone else said that they loved it. Several people said that they hated it, and I don't necessarily love meal planning, but my grocery shopping helps with my meal planning. So
All right.
I have done like online grocery orders. I'm never as happy as when I go to the store and I get inspired by what I see.
I enjoy grocery shopping. I don't enjoy grocery putting away. But again,
Yes, I don't like that either. Actually.
if you don't do it right,
yeah.
I angrier.
Do you know what I don't enjoy?
What?
I mean, it actually, you just have to be very zen about it. But if you have one walking with you, one in the cart, and you're carrying one in a baby carrier, grocery shopping isn't quite as fun.
Oh, absolutely.
Grocery shopping by yourself is a delightful retreat.
But also, when Haley was really little, like, I used
Love
to
it.
pick her up from daycare, and then we'd stop at Whole Foods on the way home.
Yeah.
And that was actually really fun, because, like, she'd try all the samples and all of
Right,
that
but
stuff.
like I said, you have
But
to be a
with
little
one,
zen about it,
it's-
too.
Yeah,
yeah,
you gotta
but
be
also,
like, it is what it is.
I only ever had one, so
Yeah.
it was a whole different, you know.
I'll tell you, going grocery
Whole different
shopping with
thing.
Max as a toddler was great because you put him in the cart and he'd be like, everyone who walked by, he'd be like, hi.
Uh-huh.
Hi.
Yeah.
And if they didn't answer, hi. Hi. Hello. And I'm
You
like,
are not acknowledging
you
my
are, and like
presence.
this little round-headed smiley baby
Yeah.
would just be like, I will get your attention. Ollie is actually a very good grocery shopper because he is like, do we like this brand? I'm like, no, we do not like that brand. He's like, okay, noted. He is a very good helper.
With Teddy, you have to park in the middle of the aisle.
So he can't grab things.
Yeah.
I can see that every day.
I help him. Yeah.
Uh,
I mean, he is a good helper. So, who was
All
our
right.
winner last
So-
time? They
so-
won.
they won a Delicue fabric project bag or O-Snap item.
Great
Okay.
prize.
That is
And
awesome.
our winner was Kathleen in Wisconsin, whose YouTube name is Donald Schneider 2560. Dun, dun, dun. She said she likes cleaning the kitchen and loathes dusting. Podcast was excellent. Get such good ideas from you and enjoy hearing about your experiences.
Oh, thank you.
So thank you for watching, Kathleen.
Yes, we
And,
really
um,
enjoy our experiences today.
Yeah, we appreciate it. Should we mention our question this week?
Yes. So this week, since we were talking about this earlier,
Inspired by Ted Stur, sort of.
Yes,
Mhm,
totally
mhm.
inspired
Is-
by Ted Stir.
is what is a crafting compliment you would give yourself?
Yes.
So sometimes we all need a little pick me up. When you look at your projects, you know, we all tend to see our mistakes. We all tend to
Yes.
see the things we don't do perfectly. What's something you can, you know, when you look at your project, you can say to yourself, "You did a great job."
You
Are
did
you
a
great
good
at picking out
job.
colors?
Love your long yarn.
Love your long yarn. You have needles. Yes,
Or
I do have needles.
Your stitches are very even.
Right.
Or, you know, you're great at lace or
Yeah.
whatever. So what is a crafting compliment you can pay yourself?
Yep.
Yes.
So that when you need, and if you don't feel like you can think of anything right now, once you see other people's compliments to themselves, maybe it'll
Add them to
inspire
their
you.
compliment board.
Yes.
Yeah.
Add it to
yeah.
your compliment board.
So that is a
Compliment
good thing
board.
to all
Such a good one.
pat yourself on the back
Yeah,
now and then.
exactly. A little.
And our prize for next episode, you know, based on
For
people who answer
based on
that
what he said.
question, is going to be one color wheel skein.
Yep.
Yes.
So not the whole mini skein set, but either a suri or a worsted, which we have, and we'll even let you have a DK if you're going to make socks. Even though they're say for the sock class people. Other than that, it's just easier to say any single
Yes.
skein of
You
color
get a
wheel.
special dispensation as
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
as a podcast
As a commenter
viewer.
below.
As a commenter below.
Yes.
And we should hit our
Opinions.
section.
So yes,
We
hashtag
saved it till
opinion.
very last.
We saved it to very last, but also before we do hashtag opinions, let's also say, guys, put your hashtag opinions down below
Yes,
as well.
yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
What do you want us to weigh in on? Because
Exactly.
as you know,
We're actually we're getting through a lot of the
Yeah.
ones that people asked previously because a lot of them we grouped,
Yes.
but we're running out of things to give you our opinions on.
Yeah.
So if you would
If
like,
you
more
like the
opinions-
segment,
yeah, if you like the segment,
Comment.
which a lot of people
Oh,
seem to. I
yeah.
mean, people
I hope so.
commented on it. So
and if not, we're still doing it.
we like
Until
it.
right on
Again,
the question.
we're very opinionated, so we like
You're
to
very
give your
opinionated.
opinion. So our hashtag opinion question for this time is one from I have it here. 121. Faith Hunter 9295, who she's doing the Selena Slipover, inspired by Amanda.
Yay!
She also, this is a while back, this was episode 110. She said she's working on her first sweater, but she's wondering what are the best ways to pick your color palettes.
Oh.
So color palette isn't something, you know, well, we all talk about how we have palettes. We kind of joke
Totally.
about that now and then. I definitely do. But I know what my color palette is inspired by.
What?
Like way back when I was first working, there was this thing, what season are you? Or something.
Oh, yes.
Do you remember that?
Yeah,
What
it's back. It's on TikTok.
Oh wow. Yeah.
Color Me
See.
Beautiful.
Yes, Color Me Beautiful. Are you
Okay.
a spring? Are you a summer? Are you an autumn?
So
or
does
winter?
does everybody know what they are?
I know what I
of
am.
course. We've talked about this before.
We have. You're a spring,
Have we?
right? Are you a
I'm
spring?
an autumn.
You're an autumn too.
Yeah, you're an autumn.
But you go for the pastels a lot.
I'm a what? There's two different
Soft
kinds of
autumn.
yeah, something like that.
Oh.
Muted autumn, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
And see, I am full on
The
autumn.
true
I'm definitely
autumn, there's
yeah.
something like
I'm a winter.
You're a winter, which I
I'm
can see.
100% a winter.
Yeah. Yeah.
The question is, am I bright winter or muted winter? I don't know.
Yeah. Back in the day, there
It was
wasn't
just
there. It was
seasons,
just
yeah.
the 4. Yeah.
It's my goal.
Uh huh.
We shall see. I mean, we'll see.
We'll
Yeah.
work it out.
Yep. We will.
I mean, the further I go along, I end up working like 50, 55-hour weeks anyway. So
Yeah.
I sort of, at a point, I get to be a little bit like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, I could
Yeah. Yeah.
What
Like,
about-
I'm not
Sorry.
available right now. Yeah. It's blocked out on my calendar.
Calendar's blocked out.
Could be therapy.
Yeah.
It's like can't tell people they can't go to therapy.
So it's funny. I'm a winter surrounded by 2 autumns, and my mom is an autumn.
Ah, interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
My mom's a spring.
My
but-
mom is a winter.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, very very pale skin and black hair. I mean,
Yeah.
dark hair. And actually, I was noticing this weekend, she still is far from 100% gray. I'm
Yeah.
almost as gray as my mother, which is crazy.
Huh.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny. My grandmother, on my mom's side, also a winter. Dark hair, bright blue eyes, and then like she was 102, and only then was she almost fully steely gray. Like she
Wow,
did not go
yeah.
to salt and pepper until well into her 90s.
Wow.
Which is kind of like probably where I'm headed. But it was great because like the steely gray and like bright blue eyes and pale skin works really well for winters.
Yeah, exactly. You're still in the cool
You're
color
still
range.
in the cool color range.
So my answer for the question is, I identify as an autumn from like really early on.
Mhm.
Have always loved those colors. I love the oranges, burnt orange, rust. I didn't used to wear red of any kind, but I really realized like a brick red, like the one like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
an
It's
orangey
it's basically an orangey red. It's like
Yeah.
it totally falls in. And I also do love olives and things like that. I think what makes sense for most people is to pick colors that look good on them. Hence
Yeah.
the whole, what is your season?
Well, and also thinking about what you tend to wear and what are you going to wear?
That's the other big thing. Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Like I'm a winter. I love blues and I love teals.
Mm-hmm.
But what will I wear? And then here's the thing, like how do I wear my sweaters, right? Like
Mhm.
or vests or shawls or whatever, right? Like if I'm wearing something with a dress, I think about what colored dresses I have, right? I have black linen dress, gray. I have a almost hot pink one.
Mhm.
I have a cool red, and I have like an olivey foresty green, right? So what's going to go with those colors?
Mm-hmm.
And then, or am I going to wear it with jeans? I guess it's an and or. And if I'm wearing it with jeans, this is the thing. As much as I love this teal, and I love
Yes.
this teal,
Yep.
if I put it with jeans,
I know.
it doesn't always look right.
Yeah,
I have to
I-
wear like specific jeans.
I don't love
or-
anything I don't love 2 different blues together for the
I don't
most
either.
part. Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I am
It
not
almost
a
has to be a real navy within some
Yes.
like navy
I
and
need a
teal
contrast.
actually can work,
looks great.
but not any kind of real denim-y blue unless it's like
Right.
100% dark wash.
But when I worked in the city, I wore black pants a lot. I also wore
Yes,
jeans
exactly.
a lot because publishing, right? But I wore black pants a lot, so I would wear
Mhm.
that color.
the teals
on
work really
top.
well with that. Yeah.
Yeah, much more frequently. But the thing is, also, is that I am not a denim tuxedo kind of gal, right?
Mhm.
Like I'm not going to wear denim and denim. I'm not going to wear denim blue and denim.
Mm-hmm.
It's not my jam.
Mm-hmm.
I lean towards gray
Mm-hmm.
because I'm boring.
Well, yeah. And when I go to work, I have 2 pairs of shoes that I wear. They are the best. If you have to wear heels to work, or if it's like acceptable that you wear heels to work, LaDuca
Oh yeah.
shoes, which are tap shoes. That's what the Rockettes wear
Uh-huh.
as tap shoes.
They're the character shoes.
They have character shoes too, but if you get, I get 2.5-inch tap shoes with no taps.
Uh-huh.
And they will
Oh.
call you and they'll be like, did you mean to get the taps? You're like, nope.
No, I'm actually wearing those as
I want
interesting. Yeah.
They're
And
street shoes, and they'll put street soles on them for you.
Yeah.
those are work shoes, right? Like they're meant for dancers to wear to work.
Yeah, yeah.
So comfortable.
We had somebody in here the other day who was a former Rockette.
Oh,
Really?
Yeah.
you can
yeah.
wear them all day long, walk from here to the train, get off the train, walk across town. Like, I have walked for hours in those shoes.
Yeah.
And,
That
like,
makes so much sense.
at like
yeah.
10 or 11 hours, my feet do start to get sore, but I think they would feel sore almost
In
anything.
any primitive
Right,
issue.
but that's you're on
but
your feet.
they are great. But they come in only two colors and two colors only,
Mm-hmm.
black and nude.
Yep.
That's
mhm.
it.
Yep.
That's the only colors they come in. Therefore, I usually don't wear navies
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
because then they don't go with my shoes.
Uh-huh.
But other than that, although I have to say, on my list to make, because navy is very in right now, it goes great with camel,
Yes.
is a balloonish or Eva cardigan-ish something with a navy tog.
The navy tag is really pretty. The
Yeah.
Wolf tag.
Mm-hmm.
On my list of to-dos this year. But how I pick I don't know. How do I pick my palettes? I do what I like. I mean, frankly, and that's like the more I wear clothes, the more I feel like I just
You home in on what you really do like.
no, I just wear whatever I want, whatever
Uh-huh.
I want to wear.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and I feel like
And people would say like, Amanda, you're a redhead, you shouldn't wear pinks.
no, but
Right,
I
but
mean,
I
pink
wear-
looks really good on
I wear
redheads for the
pinks.
most part.
It depends on the pink.
It-
like
it-
a
you
bluey
have to-
pink
yeah, it
often
depends.
doesn't.
Depends on the pink,
But I don't
exactly.
care.
Yeah.
If I think it's cool, I'm gonna wear
Uh-huh.
it. Right?
Yeah.
I tend to go with more of the rose golds because that's sort of the era I'm in. I'm in my rose gold era.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But-
Got my. This is very similar to Rocinante, which is
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yep.
But
love.
if I'd say when we opened Yarnia, I wore more grays and blacks, and now I wear more neutrals and camels, creams and camels and
Mhm.
beiges.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I wear what I like. I don't care
Mhm. And see, I
if it looks good on
definitely.
me. And the more that, like, Chad likes, like, he picked an orange dress for me,
Yeah.
like an orange dress for
Uh-huh.
me, which I would not normally wear. I get more compliments on that dress
Yeah.
than anything
Sometimes
else.
it does take somebody else saying this would
"Wear
work
this
for you.
color."
Try this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely over the years, and it's so funny because here I am wearing a purple sweater, which is like outside of what I usually do.
That's a very autumn color.
It is a
autumn-y,
very autumn color,
But it's cool. Like this is a purple I would gravitate to.
But the other thing is this sat on my shelf all year. I never reached
Yeah.
for it. I reached for it because I saw Jen wearing hers and was like, I should wear that sweater.
Yeah.
So I feel like over time, one of the things that I've learned that works for me is really to buy and make things in the palette that I love
Yeah.
because those are the ones I'll use.
Yeah.
When I stray from my palette, those are the things that I don't wind up using. And also growing up in New York City, like being aside from the 4 years of my life when I was in
Right.
Chicago, basically, New Yorker.
Yeah.
End to end, black is totally part of my palette.
Right. Like
Yeah.
my neutrals are grays, right?
Mhm.
And blacks, but mostly grays.
Because your hair is also very dark. So
My
it's
hair
like
is dark.
if you
So-
have
and I go like
the dark hair with black, it's
right. I go light
Start
gray
looking like
to
Wednesday
like a
Addams a
charcoal
little bit.
gray. Although
Mhm.
I mean, I will also dress head and tone black. But like I tend not to go for purples, and I'm not sure why. But when I want a pop of color or something like that, like my initial default is green because green to me reads as a neutral.
Wow.
Mostly because I wear it with jeans.
It works with jeans. It works with
anything
any
other
shade
than
of
a
jeans.
red
yeah.
color.
Yep.
It works with anything other than a red, right?
Yes.
Like I could wear it with anything other than a red. But like I also do feel like there is something to thinking about, like if you're making a garment or you're making like a shawl, right? It's easier in a shawl to do an unexpected color because it's an accessory
Yeah.
as opposed to like it's a feature. Like when I was trying to pick colors for the Eva cardigan
Mm-hmm.
for the sweater closet I'm doing, I was like, okay, what don't I have and what am I missing? I'm wearing my green sweaters a lot, and sometimes I wish I could, I thinking like, oh, I need a lightish neutral. And I'm like, what kind of light neutral can I do? And I'm not going to necessarily do another light gray sweater, even though I have a million of them.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, let's do something a little different. And then, I wanted light, but I didn't want white because I spill.
Yeah.
And I'm a mess. So I was like going in that thing. And I can't do a beige. I can't do anything that is not that in the
It
brown.
has to have some
brown.
substance to color.
I was looking at the browns in Scout,
Yep.
and then I was like, do I want a brown? I don't know if I want a brown. And if I pick something that's too close to my skin tone, it just looks like I'm wearing like an old bra. Like bad color. Bad color.
I don't know. I don't know. I think that sometimes, but then I think like those light pinks that I wear sometimes are very close to my skin color.
But there's enough contrast in there.
But it also
There's enough
depends.
contrast.
It also depends, like the sweater that you wore last episode.
Yeah.
You wear it with something under it that's a different color, so it's not like your entire body. The my favorite things, the lacy balloony one.
Oh yeah.
But
Yeah,
I also think that had enough contrast because you have enough warmth in your skin, and I have like, I'm a cool olive. Like I have green in my skin, but it's blue green, right? It's like a cool green as opposed to like a warmer green.
Mm-hmm.
And so anything that's too beigey just looks like
It almost makes you look sick, right? It makes you look unwell.
I also
it's like sad beige.
Yeah.
I also like
As opposed to happy neutral.
I like outfits of the same color.
Mm-hmm.
I know you were like not blue on blue on blue. I'm like, I really like a blue on blue on
Yeah.
blue. I love a peach on peach on peach. That was
Yeah.
what my like anniversary dinner outfit was. It was
Yeah.
my favorite things over a peach
Yeah.
outfit
Mm-hmm.
and a peach accordion skirt.
But were they similar peach tones,
They
or
were
were they very
very
different?
similar.
See, I think when it's very similar, it works. I think when they're different, that's
But
when
not
that's when I
exactly
don't
the
like
same.
it.
Not
Yeah.
matchy. They were enough different,
Yeah.
but they were different textures too. I
Yeah.
love playing with textures.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know.
You do dress like, in some ways you do dress like monochrome with like a pop.
Yeah. Or just monochrome with different textures.
Yeah.
Texture can be a pop too.
Mm-hmm.
My monochrome is either gray or black.
Yeah. My monochrome is black
I have.
when I do monochrome.
Yeah, I find that that's like easier to do a lot of time, like your green hats that you did for Jonathan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, everything in the same family.
Than trying to mix 6 different colors, like in a color work pattern.
Yeah. Oh,
that
it's
are
hard to pick
very
colors in a color
different.
work.
Right, and have them all look cohesive.
Yeah.
Which is what
That's
happens
tricky.
a lot of times when you're putting an outfit together, and you've got like your coat plus your shoes and your pants or skirt and then your sweater over it and your handbag. Like if you want to look all together,
Yeah.
like your whole closet doesn't have to be one.
Yeah.
But in the same wedge of the color wheel,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
right? Like makes you look like you thought about this and are pulled together.
Yeah. Yeah.
See, I get to the point where I'm like, I realize that my bag, which is like a foresty green, is almost exactly the same color as the green Lucky Tweed Felix that I wear all the time, which is almost the same color as the throwback green Lucky Tweed that I wear all the time. And I get to the point where I'm like, oh my God, my bag matches my sweater. It's too much.
No.
Like, it's too much matchy. And I'm like, but I pick it because I'm like, I love green.
Yeah.
And I love a
And I
bag with a pop color.
Put your cargo pants with it and you'll look like a fashion model.
Or I'll look like a crayon, which is what, when
You have to rock it, man.
Max's favorite color was red when he was like Teddy's age, right? And he would wear he had red corduroys.
Yes.
And then he'd wear a red sweatshirt.
Oh.
And then he'd wear his red sneakers. And he's like, I need red socks. And I was like, for the love of God, you look like a tiny little crayon. You need to break it up. And he was like, I'm wearing all red. I'm like, I hear you.
That's so cute.
Hey,
oh my God.
there
Look like a
are
crayon.
there are superstars that would wear an all
I
red.
know.
But they would do it.
Right, and it's like,
happens.
it's your preference, right? My
Yeah,
preference,
yep.
I was like, at first I was like, you also look like the Queen, who Queen Elizabeth used to always dress in a block of color.
Yes, yes. Her hat
like,
would match her coat, would match her
right?
dress.
And like, you can always, you can always spot her in a crowd.
You could find her, exactly.
French teacher in high school used to dress in the color of the day.
Oh God.
It was, bless her heart.
Love it. But I mean, if that's your style, rock it.
Exactly. Hey, if you can pull it off and want to, go for it.
Can't do
Yeah, I mean, I think one of the keys.
The
that
socks being
is-
the same. I would draw the line in socks too.
I was like, no one sees your socks. They see your red sneakers.
I think one of the keys to that, regardless of size, is well-tailored pieces.
Yes.
Well-tailored pieces look
Have it.
timeless. They like have a structure,
Yeah.
and when you're mixing colors or you're mixing textures, then it looks intentional.
Yeah.
And honestly, if you have a color palette, oftentimes like the colors that you like are the colors
that look good on
that
you.
look good on you.
Hopefully, over time, you've kind
And
of
that-
learned what you're.
And even
What's
if they don't
flattering.
look good on you, like then just don't wear it next to your face. If it's a color
Yes,
that you love,
that you
That's
love.
true, too.
Yeah,
I can't
that
wear
is a
yellow.
really good point.
it looks terrible on me. I love yellow. I have a yellow skirt. That
Uh-huh.
actually
So perfect.
balance.
Exactly.
I'm like,
Yeah.
great, it's not right next to me.
Yep. Very
So, like,
smart. Good point. Good
Totally
point.
fun.
So,
Awesome.
I hope that was helpful.
I hope
yeah,
that was helpful.
hope so. Yep.
Thanks for joining us today. Don't forget to comment below with a compliment for yourself.
Yes. Yes. A crafting compliment.
A crafting compliment.
And we are getting, not that I think anyone is still watching at this point because
Who knows?
I'm sure it is our longest episode. We're getting so close to 4,000 viewers.
Yes.
And we are going to be doing a special giveaway when we hit 4K.
Yay!
So
4K
if you know
giveaway.
a friend who you think would also enjoy Chronicles of Yarnia,
Share.
please recommend us.
Yeah.
We would love that. We love getting to hear from more and more folks and learning something about you and sharing
Yeah.
what we know. So
We hope you like and subscribe if you haven't already, and send it to a friend, and comment below. And of course, follow us everywhere. We're Shop Yarnia, Facebook, Instagram,
And
website.
most importantly, go to the website, scroll down to the bottom, and at the bottom of any page, subscribe to the newsletter because that's where you hear about our events and trunk shows and all that kind of
And
thing.
get the
first.
Glasses.
every week, and it makes it easy to sign up if you want to sign up for
Yep.
things.
Yep.
All right.
So thanks, guys.
Thanks for watching. Take
Bye.
care. Bye.